Hey everybody! So here we are again with another review video. Today we're going to be reviewing some of the Regent cards. Um, I believe Alex and Joseph have both beaten a level 10 Ascension. I have successfully failed on level 0 Ascension with the Regent, so I'm up there with them. I got half their number. Um, but we'll we'll be reviewing these cards today. So
It's true. You got half the digits. I mean, you're.
That was
I
a really
mean,
good joke. Um, I'm not sure how much Thomas will be throwing in advice, but yeah, me, Joseph, Regent's my favorite character. He's the only one I've A10'd. I put however many hours into him. Alex has put a lot more hours into the game as a whole. He's A10'd all the characters, and Regent was his least favorite. I think it was the last one for him to A10.
that is correct. I mean, yeah, I feel like I'll enjoy the region more in time, but he's been my least favorite out of the five. Not that I disliked him, but yeah.
Um, So we're going to start right here at the beginning with some of these base cards. We're going to start with Falling Star. It's a 0 mana, 2 stars, 7 damage, apply 1 weak, 1 vulnerable, upgrade it's 11 damage. Um, I think this is either a B or an A card. I've never felt the need to take this out of my deck. Even in decks that aren't star decks, usually just having weak on a turn or vulnerable on a turn when I need it for no energy is very useful. For example, if I'm a Sovereign Blade deck, playing my Sovereign Blade on the turn I play a Falling Star means that it does an extra 50% damage. So this card never has been bad, and I quite
Yeah,
like it.
yeah, I'm thinking A tier for this one. I feel like the zero cost is really important here. The fact that you can, because normally with like the Ironclad, for example, you have to set up vulnerable the turn before with a slow bash turn, and then
Mm-hmm.
you take some damage. In this one, you can just play Falling Star for zero because you already set up the stars or you already started the combat with 3 stars. And then you play Strike, 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 and that's 27 plus these. So that's 34 damage just out of nowhere if you have a Falling Star with 3 strikes in your hand. And that's really strong. So I feel like, yeah, it's pretty solid. I would put in A, I think, for now, but we'll see how it fits in once we get some more cards in the list.
Thomas, do you want to review this next one? This one's 1 damage. It's called Strike. It deals 6 damage. 1 cost. Is
I
Thomas
am
still on?
familiar with the strike cards. Yeah. um, I mean, they start you off with like five in your hand at the beginning, which probably means it's pretty good. Um, I mean, it's got to be at least C, D. It's D. Just like defend. I mean, it's just the most basic card.
Yeah, it's not only the most basic card, I think it's the worst cards. Strike, I would say, is probably the worst card we're going to review today. Um, and Defense, just barely better than that.
Yeah, I don't even know why we're reviewing
I
them.
feel like that's not actually too fair because, like, sure, like it. I don't know. There's some cards that you get in your deck, and you're like, this negatively impacts my deck
Yeah,
actively.
but like you get to a certain point of the run and I never play strike ever again. Like they're just bad cards.
They're
But
just
it's
good.
not like it's like you can play a strike and
Yeah,
it does
and
damage.
it's 1 mana, effectively do nothing. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
I changed my mind. I'm advocating for it. It's got to go in S tier. So real.
The next card is Venerate. It's a 1 mana, 3 stars. Alex, do you want to place this for us? Or 2 stars, upgraded, it's 1 mana, 3 stars.
um, I mean, I've never really felt like this card is too strong, but it's like kind of necessary for him. I don't know. I would. I just feel like there's better ways to get stars. I'd put it in C tier though. You kind of need it.
The problem is I'm always looking to replace and have a different star generation.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
and I keep wondering if the upgrade's worth it. The upgrade might be worth it because once you've upgraded, playing Venerate once equals the first time you play, since you start with 3 stars, playing Venerate once will equal 2 plays of Falling Star. Where normally playing one play of Falling Star equals one play of Venerate was 1 play of Falling Stars, but
Okay.
upgraded with your starting stuff, it kind of equals 2. So it might
Yeah.
be worth it to upgrade. I'm okay with C, but if it's C, it's kind of a bottom of C. I kind of want to be bold and put in D.
Okay. I'm not opposed. I felt like this card is felt weak.
Mm.
So yeah, no, D seems good.
The next one is Astral Pulse. It's a zero energy, 3 stars, deal 14 damage to all enemies. Upgraded is 18. Astral Pulse is interesting. I think it doesn't scale and it falls off towards the end, but it's a great card to pick up in Act 1.
The thing he says about every AoE card ever, it's like it doesn't scale and it falls off in the end. It's like, yeah, but it's 14 damage to all enemies. This thing carries AoE, but like it's so good
Yeah,
against multiple
yeah.
enemies.
And I think it's good in Act 1. I think it's really good in Act 1. I think it's like way above rate, really good in Act 1. This is not where you want to be devoting your stars in Act 3. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure,
So
sure.
I want to
I,
put it
I
in
would
B. Do you
I
disagree
would
with B?
I would honestly push for A here. I feel like every time I see this card, it just makes me feel way more comfortable into so many different fights.
Okay. Um, the next card is a 0 cost collision course. It's deal 9 damage. Add a debris to your hand. Upgraded, it's deal 12. Um, I think this is a questionable card. I'll sometimes pick it up early when I just need damage, and it's good in colorless builds, created card builds, but I think those are usually bad. Um, so I'd put C.
Yeah, C feels fine. I've had felt six. This card feels pretty strong in created card builds. But at the same time, so do a lot of other cards. But like zero mana deal 9, like how wrong can you go? And often the debris doesn't even matter in the early fights because the fights are so short that it doesn't really impact you. But I don't know. Yeah, C feels fine.
Yeah, and if you do need to get rid of a debris, right, it's like 1 mana deal 9, right? Which
Right,
isn't a terrible rate either.
right.
Um, Alex, I think you start with this one.
Sure. This one, I believe it's deal 4 damage and turn a card into minion dive bomb. Is that the correct name?
Correct. And Minion Dive Bomb is. I forgot that I always read off the the card text. Minion Dive Bomb is deal 13. It's a 1 energy, deal 13 damage, exhaust. Upgraded Begone will deal 5 damage and makes upgraded Minion Dive Bombs, which are 16 damage.
Yeah, I feel like when I first read this card, I wasn't too impressed by it, but after playing with it, it feels stronger than it looks, in my opinion. Um, being able to like if we compare it to a 2 mana deal, what's the math there? 17 is an okay rate, but then you can convert a card which has flexibility in certain fights, or you can like get rid of your debris that you've been creating, things of that nature. And then if you need to split the 2 mana across 2 turns, you can do that if necessary. I mean, obviously, and so I don't know. It's felt better than it looks. Um, yeah, C tier is good though. I don't think it's crazy. Yeah.
Okay, I think it's for me. It's been worse than it looked. Uh,
Really?
yeah, I
I mean,
mean,
I've only used it in like 1.5 runs, I think. But
It's
I was just like, huh, this card doesn't feel bad. Like I thought it was gonna be bad, but I picked it up just to see how it felt, and I'm like, yeah, no, this card feels pretty solid.
it's I think maybe C tier in created card builds where like this I think's B or tier in created card builds. I think the
That's
problem
fair.
is it's just 1 mana 4 damage. It does less damage than a strike. And so then you could devote 2 damage to it, and it is a
Aha!
decent
I
rate
told
for
you.
uh it is a decent rate for 2 damage.
It is better than a strike, Thomas.
It is better than a strike. But I just think so often I'm looking at my hand. If I picked up a Begone because I thought maybe this could be deck thinning, it can't do that, right? So because
Yeah,
it's too much energy to really be deck thinning. So it's only in created decks, and I would put it like bottom of D.
no, that's fair. When I think back to the run that I used it in, it became one of my least played cards. It felt like solid at the beginning, but then like fell off. Um, and as you referenced before, I think the collision course that we put in C tier definitely felt like a tier above in my created.
Mhm.
I think I had both cards, and collision course definitely felt much better
Yeah,
compared to
definitely,
this one.
definitely.
Yeah,
Next, we have Crescent Spear. It's deal 1 energy, 1 star, deal 6 damage, deal 2 additional damage for every star cost. All your cards with star cost. Upgraded, it's deal 3. I would probably put this in B tier. It's an okay card in star decks. I run very small decks, so it usually doesn't get better than a decent card in star decks, but I don't think it's bad. I think it's a B tier card.
yeah. It's felt like 1 mana deal a good amount of damage, right? But it's also 1 mana, 1 star. So it's, I mean, if it was just 1 mana, it would obviously be
Very
much
good.
better. Um, yeah, no, B feels good. Like it's felt like a solid card, but nothing crazy. It's does a decent amount of damage, and it feels good. Um, I definitely pick it up when I have a lot of star cards.
Uh, Next we have Crush Under. It's a 1 mana. Deals 7 damage to all enemies. All enemies lose 1 strength this turn. Upgraded, it does 8 damage, and enemies lose 2 strength.
I feel like I should like this card more than I do because I'm a big lover of AoE. Uh, I don't know, but it's felt like this lose 1 strength, lose 2 strength
It just doesn't
has
scale well, huh?
felt kind of weak to me. Um, and so then it's felt like a weak AoE card because it's like damage output is not as strong because it has this side benefit of decreasing strength. And so it kind of feels like not strong at either of the things it's doing. And so I've never really liked it. Um, it's probably better than the cards in D tier. I might, but Collision Course does feel better to me than it. So I would say either bottom of C or top of D.
We can go with bottom of C. I really want it to be good, and I think I want to play it in multiplayer runs because I think that strength loss is very valuable in multiplayer runs. Um, but I just I keep not finding it being very useful.
Yeah.
Um, we'll leave it in bottom of C for now. Next, we have Guiding Star. 1 mana, 2 stars. Deal 12 damage. Next turn, draw 2 cards. Upgraded, it deals 13 damage. And next turn, draws 3 cards. I would put Guiding Star in A. Maybe it should be B, because it really is just a role player. But I think it's a great card. Card draws great. Its damage is decent. You don't have too many ways to draw cards in this deck, and so Guiding Stars is one of your better ways to do that. Um, and yeah,
Yeah, I'm not opposed to A. I feel like I haven't used this card too much. I feel like in the decks that I have enough star. production, I've generally picked up other star cards and don't feel like I can. But no, like I read the card and I can tell that it's good.
Yeah, it's really a
Yeah.
role player, not a finisher, which that's what I said about Crescent Spear. So maybe I should just we should put it in B above Crescent Spear, but I like it a tier more than Crescent Spear. I'll pick it up before Crescent Spear almost every time.
Hmm.
Does
Yeah,
texture
I'll take
stars
this.
a lot more.
Yeah, no, that sounds good.
The next one is Photon Cut. Deal 10 damage, draw one card, put one card from your hand on top of your draw pile. Upgraded, it's deal 13 damage, draw two cards. I'm a big Photon Cut believer, though maybe it just needs my upgrades, which makes it not as good as this, but Photon Cut, I love drawing cards. That place on top of the deck works with a few special cards in Regent's deck, things like I'm Invincible and King's Kick and King's Punch. In general, I think it's just a really solid role player that can go into any deck, which is why I love picking up at the beginning because it can just be a good piece no matter which way my deck goes.
I whenever I use this card, it's felt good. One mana deal 10 is just a solid stat line, and then you have this additional flexibility. Um, which I think putting cards on top of your deck is, I mean, obviously stronger in Regent, but in general is probably something we underrate. Being able to fix your next turn, or like, oh, I
Uh-huh.
have enough block this turn, or I drew like all my defense this turn. Like, I really need to make sure I have one next turn. Stuff like that is probably something we underrate as players in general. Um, I'm surprised to see you put it so high, but like at the same time, it's felt good every time I used it. I don't pick it up as often as it sounds like you do, but maybe I should more often.
It's one of my favorite cards to see in early game because it's very flexible, right? It's not a finisher, but I think it's a role player, and pretty much any deck can be a role player. You okay with the top of A? We could drop things if you wanted.
I like Astro Pulse. Anyway, Astro Pulse top of A, but no, it's fine.
The great benefits of having the mouse. The next card is Solar Strike. It's a 1 mana, deal 8 damage, gain 1 star. Upgraded, it's 9 damage and 2 stars.
I don't like this card, and I don't know if that's just a proponent of how I play Slay the Spire, but like these 1 mana deal damage cards, I mean, which is also why I don't pick Photon Cut up as much as maybe I should. I just don't pick up these 1 mana deal damage cards as very often. Um, I mean, I'm already trying to remove as many strikes as possible. Like this just feels like a slightly better strike. Um, like I much prefer is there a defense version of this card if I remember?
There is a
Yeah.
defense version of this card.
And I just like way prefer that compared to a deal damage card. I like I would honestly even I know it's better than D tier, but D tier is how often I pick it up.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think Solar Strike for me read worse than it played. I started playing it a little bit in my star builds, and I feel like the star generation might be undervalued, right? I think a star is worth like 0.75. 2 stars are like 1.5 energy worth, right? I'm not sure if that's true,
Yeah.
but that's the vibe I get. So this is like it's like 0.5 energy. And with 2 stars generating off of it, I think it's pretty good. I would have it at B, but that was just playing it. It ended up feeling better than I expected. I didn't take it much at the beginning. We can put it in C tier though. Put it
Yeah.
towards the bottom because you hate it so much.
Yeah. I don't know. I just like in my mind, if I just block up that turn, then that's much better. Who needs to do 8 damage? I don't know. It's kind of a weird thing I have with Slay the Spire. I think is, or how I play is, yeah, I just don't pick up a lot of these 1 mana deal damage cards.
Well, I think the incidental star gain's better than just a lot better than I thought it was. Next is Rotten War. It's a 1 mana, deal 7 damage, Forge 5. Upgraded is 9 damage, and Forge 7. This is our first Forge card, and I love the Forge mechanic, even if I think the Star mechanic is better. And I think this card is terrible. I never pick this up. It's just. I think it's a pacing thing. Like Solar Strike gets you an equivalent to energy. So it can pace you faster, right? It like lets you then do other things. But Rotten War, it builds your sword, but it builds your sword slowly. Doesn't do enough damage to really kill anything. It's like, what if my strike made my sword stronger for later? And I just think it's all too slow. It's all too much down the line.
Yeah, no, deep feels good. I don't think I've ever picked up this card because I just don't like it. I mean, for the same reasons I don't pick up Solar Strike very often, but this has looked even worse to me than Solar Strike does. So
It
D
is.
feels,
It is
yeah.
worse. The next card is Celestial Might. It's a 2 mana, deal 6 damage 3 times. Upgraded is 8 damage 3 times.
I really like this card. 2 mana deal 24 is solid, and then it obviously plays with the vigor mechanic, which I really like. Um, and I think it's getting a buff in the beta, which probably means I should rate it lower than I want to, because I've enjoyed the card and I've gotten cool vigor stuff going on that makes it more powerful. Um, I would honestly chuck it in B tier. It feels better than the C tier cards to me.
Oh my gosh. I'm not sure I've ever taken this card. I think it's so bad. Because why would I use 2 mana to deal 20 damage
Play
when I
for
could play two photon cuts and do 2 mana to deal 20 damage and, they
so
cost
so
less so they're weavable.
2 mana cards happen to take up 1 card slot. So you
Yeah,
could, if you want to read it, it's like it says like draw a card because you have an extra card in your hand when you're playing Celestial Might instead of playing a 1 mana card.
yeah, but photon cut says draw 2 cards, cash away a card that you want for the next turn, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah, yeah. Photon card is an A tier card for a reason. Okay.
um, I like that it plays with the vigor mechanic. I've never picked it up. I feel like it's
Yeah. Okay. We should probably put it C tier, and then once it gets the buff where it changes, it's the same damage output, but instead it's more times.
yeah. We could
Then
we
then it will then it will be
in
better
beta
because
branch it's a B tier card. I'll
yeah,
give it
yeah,
that.
yeah,
I really enjoy the vigor mechanic. It's like such a small sub theme in Regent, but when it comes up, it's really fun.
yeah. I completely agree.
Um, we have no S tier cards. Yeah, we don't believe in these cards.
Yeah, that region's bad, bro. That's why they're just kidding.
Wow.
We'll see. I'm
Wow.
curious. No, this is kind of weird that we don't have any S tier cards. This is interesting.
Um, yeah, well, I think we'll get to some. Um, we are going through all the commons first, so that could definitely be part of it. So
Sure.
we're going commons, uncommons, and then rares, and I think commons are usually worse. We have Cloak of Stars next. It's a 0 mana 1 star. Gain 7 block. Upgraded its gain 10 block. I think it's my turn to talk about this. I think this is a really good card. I'm tempted to put it in A. I'm going to stick on top of B. It's just kind of free block when you need it. If you don't need it, it costs a card. But you don't have to play it and use your stars if you don't have to, right? But when you do need that, it really helps expand the number of cards you can play in a turn, right? Because you get to spend your 3 energy on other things, and then you get to play this using your star pool.
Yeah, I would push for A tier for this card. I love this card. I mean, I like you referenced, it gives you the flexibility of being able to use your mana for energy for attack cards, but then still be able to gain some defense. 1 star does not feel like a hard ask.
Mm-mm.
Um, it feels like a easy slot in. It's an early pickup card that if I see it early, it's very easy for me to slot into my deck. Yeah, no, I'm really fan of this card.
I feel you. I feel you. Next, we have Know Your Place. It's a 0 mana, apply 1 weak, apply 1 vulnerable, exhaust. Upgraded, it does not exhaust.
Uh, this card, it's also just a card that I pick up quite a bit. I don't know if that's just because it's powerful or if it just reads exhaust, and so I just like don't even. I'm just like, yeah, I'll take a copy, and it's always good. Like it just always feels good. Every time I have it, it's just always felt good. It's just always felt good. So I probably push for uh, B tier. Um,
I'm
yeah, what are
for
your thoughts?
putting Know Your Place in B tier. Strangely, I never want to upgrade Know Thy Place. I don't know if that's me playing bad. Like, why would I want a 0 man, 1 weak, 1 vulnerable once and not multiple times? Um,
I,
it's
I mean, I think it depends on the cards you have in your deck because if you already have ways to get weak and vulnerable and stuff, then it obviously becomes much worse if it's just taking up a card every time because it does nothing. But if it's your only way of getting vulnerable and stuff, vulnerable is a very powerful debuff. So
I also find it gives me some good defense on my first trip through my deck. I like hitting my more payoff cards, right? And I don't even hate it on a turn I hit Falling Star or something because its Regent has a lot of 1 turn weak vulnerable, and 2 turns
mhm,
is always so much better. I'm gonna put it at the
mhm.
top of B, but don't upgrade it because that makes sense.
I mean, upgrades are precious. It might be worth upgrading other stuff for sure. Like,
Yeah, I don't
but say
even.
don't upgrade. I think
It's
it is better upgraded than unupgraded.
better if it exhausts. It's just to grease the wheels on your first trip through your deck, and then on
Maybe
the
you're right.
next trip, you're supposed to hit your combo.
Um,
The
okay, this next card reads 1 mana, gain 6 block. Put a card from your discard on top of your deck. Did I get it right?
Yep, upgrade it's 9 block.
Yeah, honestly, maybe just slap this in S tier, just to have an
Slap
S
it
tier
there,
card.
boy.
Yeah, because it just combos, it synergizes with several different builds. I feel, I mean, like in
Yes.
general,
Uh huh.
the
Uh huh.
headbutt effect of putting a card from your discard, obviously, primarily Sovereign Blade is
Mm-hmm.
obviously incredibly
Yep.
strong. But in general, putting the best card in your discard on top of your deck is a very powerful effect. And it's a block card instead of a punch card like Headbutt is. So I like it more than Headbutt. So yeah.
Uh, I can't disagree. I mean, it reads like a low amount of block per energy, but it combos with Sovereign Blade. It'll also often give me glows back if I choose to do stars. If I just so happen, even though I don't think it's good, do Kingly Punch or something, right? There's just several. It's such an easy pickup in Act 1 because it will combo with pretty much any strategy. Um, Gather Light is a 1 mana, gain 7 block, gain 1 star. Upgraded, it gains 10 block. This is my turn. Strangely, I think this is okay. I'd probably put this in C tier and Solar Strike in B tier.
Uh,
The big difference between them, normally I would say a block would be better, but Solar Strike upgraded gets an extra star, and
oh.
Gather
Hmm.
Light doesn't. So, But Gatherlight does a lot of the same things I felt with Solar Strike, where it just kind of greases the wheels of a star deck. That extra star while I'm doing other stuff is really nice. So I'm okay with putting it in B tier, but I still feel like Solar Strike is a little bit better.
Um, I think the interesting thing is that Solar Strike being upgraded, giving you 2 stars, is more important if you're going for a star-centric deck. But like
Mm-hmm.
Gather Light can be a great card even if you're not running stars.
Mm,
Because you just need just enough stars to get a couple star cards going, and
yeah.
Gather Light can do that for you, and it just fits in so nicely. Um, and I 1 mana gain a decent amount of block. It just feels good, giving you that star as well. I definitely like it more than Secret Strike for reasons I've already stated. But in general, I feel like it's yeah. I love seeing this card. It's a great card. I would the amount I use it, might even push for A tier, to be honest.
The
Uh,
amount you use strikes, you know, especially near the beginning of the game.
yeah,
It's true. I do play Strike card a lot.
Solar Strike combos with Strike Dummy. Yeah, did you think about that?
True. True. It also combos with Perfected Strike.
True. True. Uh, I'll pull it up higher in B tier for you.
Sounds good.
Um, yeah. Uh, and I just want to say one other thing. Like, if you aren't doing stars, you just need 1 star to say do Falling Strike again a second time. And I think that's a very good card. And then you don't have to play Venerate, right? Which I don't think is a good card. Next we have Glow. It's 1 mana, gain 1 star, draw 2 cards. I think this might be Regent's best card. Upgraded, it is 2 stars. And I said that 1 star was pretty much 0.75 energy. So this is like 1 energy, gain 1.5 energy, draw 2 cards. So you go card positive and energy positive. I think it's an amazing card.
Yeah, when you put it that way, it looks pretty strong. I use this card less than I should. On paper, I understand that it's yeah, yeah. No, that feels right.
I think it's amazing. Next card is Hidden Cash. It's a 1 mana, gain 1 star. Next turn, gain 3 stars. Upgraded, its next turn, gain 4 stars. Where do you put this, Alex?
Yeah, interesting card because I feel like this is the number one card that I'm looking for if I'm going for a star-centric build. And so if I am going for that type of build, it's like really important. But otherwise it's just really bad. Um, and but the thing is, it's so weird evaluating these star cards, which is why Regent can be an interesting character because this effectively reads 1 mana do nothing, right? If you don't play, you know,
Yeah.
on the turn you played it at least.
It's a lot slower tempo than Glow, where you at least draw 2 cards, right? Or
Right.
Gather Light, where you
Um,
gain block.
yeah, yeah. But I feel like because I it like can single-handedly carry your star generation, I would put it in B tier.
Yeah. I'll stick it towards the bottom of B tier. I found myself using it less and less because of those tempo considerations. And because I was just hunting for glows as my ascension climbs went. It, 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 it can single-handedly give you all your stars, but you have to like want a lot, right? It's like
Mhm.
give you a lot of stars later, which is a little bit hard, but does combo with some cards we'll see later. So I don't hate it there. Um, Next is Patter. This is 8 block, gain 2 vigor, upgraded its 10 block and 3 vigor. And I have feelings about this card. I think it's a B
Yeah.
card. I think it's I just always it plays a little bit better than I expect. The vigor mechanic combos. We have several multi-strike cards in this deck, and if you get vigor on them, they go burr. But I just think it's a decent enough block card, even if you don't get there. If you don't have those.
Yeah, I mean, I like 1 mana gain 8 block, and so this additional 2 vigor on top is just kind of nice. I definitely prefer something like Gathering Light or Gather Light. Um, but I never hate this card. I mean, 1 mana gain 8 block, deal 2 damage. In worst case scenario, it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's good. It's good. You know,
Yeah, and you
good.
also often have vulnerable, so that's 3. That's a huge difference. But when you play a multi-hit, that's 7, right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
suddenly 1 mana, 8 block, 14 damage, and that's crazy. Um, the Refined Blade, it's 1 mana, forge 6, next turn gain 1 energy. Alex, where do you put
yeah.
this?
If you have infinite card draw, it's like free. You know, so that's pretty good. Um, in general, I have been enjoying these next turn gain 1 energy effects across the various classes. Um, so I like this. I like this card. I don't think it's crazy. Uh, yeah, honestly, C tier. It
Okay.
feels good. But I like it. I don't go out of my way to pick it up ever. Um, I don't know. It's kind of interesting because right on paper it does read 0 mana forge, which is pretty strong. But
Forge 6. And I really struggle to play this card and pick it up because it's so slow in tempo. I think the idea is in part it can be hard. Your turn where you play the Sovereign Blade can be really hard. So in part, just because you've got a lot to do that turn, and it can be hard to get all the block you need. So maybe this is trying to say, hey, make your Sovereign Blade bigger, make it easier to play it next turn. But also it means that this turn is struggling more. I I don't really like him, but bottom of C is a fine place for that to end up. Um, Spoils of Battle. 1 mana Forge 10, upgraded its Forge 15. I think this is uh, a terrible card.
okay, cool. Yeah, I
Uh,
definitely prefer refined blade. D tier feels good for this one. Yep.
okay.
I mean, which is weird because like 1 mana deal 10. It's pretty good.
One
You
mana deal
know,
10 repeatedly.
repeatedly it stays.
Yeah, 2 or 3 times. It's 1 mana 20 or 30. Um, yeah, why is that so bad? I think it's reveals one of the major issues with Sovereign Blade, which is just tempo. And it just hurts your tempo so bad. There's other cards we'll talk about later that I think are really good for Sovereign Blade, and they're really high tempo cards. Um, and here it's only 4 more Forge, and this one gives you an energy, right? And I'd probably trade those 4 Forge for an energy.
Yeah.
Glitterstream 2 energy, gain 11 block, next turn gain 4 block. Upgraded, it is 13 and 6 block.
Yeah, I've always enjoyed 2 mana game block cards. This has felt especially powerful, which this happens more often than you may think. I get this card and then I get the boss relic that every 2 turns or whatever, your card does double block, and so then this does double block this turn and gives you double block. It affects the next turn block as well. So I enjoy that combo.
Saying
B
that
tier feels
happens
good. Yeah,
saying that happens more often than you would expect, it was so true. Like so often I was like, or maybe I just chose to use this when I had those effects, but it was a very good place if you did have something that said double block because it transferred some of that energy onto the future turns. You
yeah.
like B tier?
Yeah, I like the card, but it doesn't feel like exceptional or anything. But like I've always enjoyed my 2 mana game block cards, so
Yeah,
B tier.
yeah. There's 3 like larger block cards in this deck. I used to like this one. It isn't enough block, in my opinion, at Ascensions like 8, 9, 10. It just, the block, Glitterstream gives you 8 versus 11, right? So it's
Mhm.
3 extra mana for 2. and then it's only 4 on the next turn, right?
Yeah.
So it's just those numbers are too small at top level ascensions, but I think it's such a solid pickup in early ascensions that I'm good with it being in B. Uh, Let me know if I'm talking too much. I really enjoy talking about these cards, but there is, we've just made it to uncommons, and so if we need to speed up and I need to talk less, just let me know.
Nope, I'm chilling.
Okay, next we have Gamma Blast. It's a 0 mana, 3-star, deal 13 damage, apply 2 weak, apply 2 vulnerable. I think this boy is an S tier card. I love getting the vulnerable and weak cards in this, and Gamma Blast finally lets that roll over to multiple turns. Every time we've seen it, it's just been on this turn, but finally, once we Gamma Blast them, we Falling Star them, they're weak and vulnerable for the rest of the combat.
This is like the baby brother to the name slipped my mind. The rare card, which is 0 mana, 5 stars, deal more damage, apply 3 weak and 3 vulnerable. But this one has felt, although I love Comet. Is that the name of the card? Did I get it?
I think it might be Comet.
I like that card a lot, but this card feels stronger to me because it's easier to fit into non-star builds.
Uh-huh.
I feel like with Comet, you have to have like a good amount of star production. That has to be a focus. For Gamma Blast, you just have something, and it slots in quite nicely. It costs 0, so it's like the Falling Star, but like way better. Yeah, no, I'm yeah. S tier feels. I mean, yeah, I'll take your word on S tier. No, it's always felt good.
Falling Star's the baby, Gamma Blast is the teenager, Comet's the adult. It's a Pokemon evolution train. Lunar Blast, 0 mana, deal 4 damage for each skill played this turn.
Yeah, has this card ever felt good to you? I've never really. I
Not
don't know.
once.
Okay, cool. D tier, D tier. Sure,
It's never
sure.
been good for you. Never been good for you.
Yeah,
Been
I mean,
probably
every time I play
true,
a
but
strike, I'm just like, why isn't this a different card? Just kidding. No, I've had this. I mean, to be fair, I've only picked up this card what once, maybe, or maybe I got it randomly or something, and it just doesn't feel like. I don't feel like I play that. It feels like 0 mana deal 8 max, which I mean, it's fine, but I had to play 2 skills specifically. What if I wanted to play Sovereign Blade? Then it's 0 mana deal 4 damage. I don't know. Doesn't
Yeah,
feel good to
you
me.
had to play 2 skills and you had to draw this instead of something else. I would add that it seems like there's a small package that's supposed to be towards like playing a lot of zero cost skills. I've never built that deck, and the small package just seems incomprehensible to me because I don't think this deck has enough draws to say I'm going to play 6 0 cost
Yeah,
skills
yeah,
this turn. There's just not enough. Where's the draws coming from, right?
yeah.
Um, so yeah, let's stick it in D. I'm gonna drop it below these
Yep.
ones even.
Agreed.
Um, Radiate, 0 mana, deal 3 damage to all enemies for each star gained this turn. I sometimes worry that I just like the payoffs of things. Upgrade this is 4 damage, but this is a payoff for all that vigor we've had. It's a payoff for generating stars, which I love payoffs for gaining energy, right? You gained energy. Oh, here's more damage. Of course, it does not work at all in non-star builds, but this is just such a phenomenal payoff in stars and vigor for stars and vigor.
I think S tier is a bit much. I like the card, but I would push for A tier. I feel like in the decks that it theoretically should be great for me, it's still often 0 mana deal like 6. Um, like how am I really generating? You have to. I feel like I have to draw it with the right cards, and that's less consistent than I may want it to. Now I have had my turns where I've generated like 5 stars and I have like 10 vigor or whatever, and it just blows everything up. That's great. I just feel like I don't, and maybe I just don't generate as many stars as you do, I guess. Because frequently I feel like I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I generated like 0 stars this turn, or and then another turn, the next turn I draw it, I'm like, okay, cool. I generated 3 or 4 stars. That's great. And then I'm just like, well, that doesn't. I mean, it's not really pulling its weight at that rate.
It's a great payoff for glow because it costs nothing, right? And so as I'm drawing through my deck with glow, I suddenly now just have this card that's going to pay off having drawn cards and gained energy. It's also a great card on turn one, because you have 3 stars generated on turn one. So I've had turns where it's like 3 stars on turn one, play a glow, into a radiate, and I'm looking at seven seven hits, which is 21 damage to all enemies. But I've often upgraded it so it's 28, and then I love getting enchantments on radiate because something like sharp, which is normally just a 2 damage upgrade, not that impressive, well, it pretty much doubles the value of this card. So maybe I'm influenced by those times I've gotten good enchantments and good upgrades on it, but I would put it in S.
I mean that is some really high upside. I've just found it to be less consistent than desired, but it can still be very strong, which is why I put it in A tier. But I think S tier is a bit much for
Uh,
me.
it's also a great combo for payoff for Royal Gamble, which I sometimes like a Royal Gamble in it
Oh,
too.
true.
It's a
Especially,
fan.
oh, yeah. And then you can retain Royal Gamble uh
And
upgraded has retain, and so you can set
yeah,
up the that's true.
yeah, it's a great Royal Gamble payoff. But this is a collaborative tier list, so it is sadly sitting at the top of A. Um, not where it undeservedly low. Stardust, it's a 0 cost um, X stars, deal 5 damage to a random enemy X times. Where do you put Stardust?
That's a tough question. I feel like I've seen people like it more than I have used it. Um, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like I have to defer to you on this one.
Oh, see, Stardust is another star payoff card. It's very similar to Radiate in my head because you combo it with the same things. You power up by a lot of the same things. Um, uh, I'd probably put it. I think about putting it in S tier. I might put it top of A tier. Um, it's very similar to Radiate to me. Um, this one eats the stars you've built, but they combo with the exact same things. And when I'm doing a stars build, I'm gonna stick at the bottom of S. And maybe you'll want it down because I also would have radiate at the bottom of S. But when you're doing a heavy star build, you really want something to pay it all off. And I think Stardust can be your person. Um, I think vigor, enchantments, there's lots of different ways to really get this going. But then you dump 10 stars in it. It's 50 damage base, but of course you'll want to make that a lot bigger.
Yeah, I'm fine with it being an S over Radiate because to me, because you my problem with Radiate is that I found it to be inconsistent because I have to draw it with like specific other cards. Versus
Uh-huh.
Stardust, you could just like wait 10 turns if you really need to and just block up, and then you're just accumulating stars, and then you have your big payoff turn with your vigor built up, or whatever you've been concocting, and then it just destroys everything. You don't have to draw with specific cards, you can just wait. And I
Uh-huh.
think that is really powerful.
Yeah, but with radiate, you get to play it every time.
It's true.
You
It's
don't
true.
have to wait. Devastate, it's a 1 mana, 4 stars, deals 30 damage. Upgraded, it deals 40 damage.
When I have Echo form out, is that what it's called? When I have Void form out, this card feels real good. Um, but I find getting that. I don't know. This card, like, that's a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage. We compare that to Bludgeon, which is 3 mana, deal 32. And if you say every 2 stars is 1 mana, this is,
I say 2 stars are like 1.5, which puts this as like a 3 mana card.
yeah. So I don't know. I feel like when I have had star decks, I have better payoffs, like Comet or Gamma Blast. But I still feel like this is a lot of damage slapped onto one card, so it can't be bad. So I'd probably put it in B tier somewhere just because that's the safe spot. But
It is the safe spot. I kind of agree with you. When I think it would be best, flat damage doesn't really scale with other things, is in the early game, but stars are really hard to get. That many stars are hard to get in early game. And I'd rather be doing something like Astro Pulse. But then when I just don't know when it's best. It's never the best option, but it's often a good card. Um, and so, like, Astral Pulse better at the beginning, Stardust better for your payoff for all these stars you're generating. It still takes 1 energy, which is not nothing, because often when you're generating stars, you want to be like, you play all your star generating cards, which cost energy, and then all your star costs can be free, right? But costing 1 energy means you have to not play a star generating. Yeah, it's weird. Uh, Kingly Punch. Kingly Punch is 1 mana, deal 8 damage. Whenever you draw this card, increase its damage by 3 this combat. Upgraded, it increases by 5 this combat.
yeah, show me this card in silent, and I'll be impressed. Um,
You don't run enough photon cuts
yeah, you got me,
and
but I still think
cosmics.
this card is bad, and I know you agree with
What?
me.
Where'd you put it?
uh, Probably D tier.
D tier. I could be convinced that I think it's towards the top of D tier. Maybe it's a low C. It's a fun combo to get off. I got it off once, an A7 or something to draw me to the win. Um, and it's fun. It's a little gimmicky. It combos with some of these cards. It doesn't really scale that fast, and it's hard. It's like, what did I just do? Build my whole deck around this card that became a
1 mana
1/22?
deal. Oh
Like, 1 mana deal 22 is not bad, but then I built my whole deck around it, right? um, but I like that it exists.
yeah, yeah. I
Uh,
don't think it's good. I don't think it's
yeah.
good.
Shining Strike. 1 mana, deal 8 damage, gain 2 stars, put this card on top of your draw pile. I'm very curious what you think of this card, because it basically says have one less card in your hand, deal this much damage per turn, and have 2 extra stars per turn. And I find that it works, but like isn't the most explosive. It kind of limits your top end, but it works and is real decent. I think I would put it towards the bottom of B. I've had multiple runs where this has just been like all the star generation I need, but I'd probably put it bottom of B.
Yeah, it's a lot of star generation.
It,
2 stars per turn is quite a bit. Yeah, it takes up a card. It takes up an energy. Only does 8 damage. So I have mixed feelings on this card. I was gonna put it top of C. Is where I was thinking for this card. But like, when you need the stars, you need the stars, and this gets you them.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, it's got
yeah,
other costs, right? It gets you
it,
stars. It's so
it's felt
consistent.
yeah, it's felt fine. Like on paper, I feel like I don't like one mana deal damage cards, but like 2 stars is a lot of stars,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just comes back. And so if you need more stars, you can just keep getting more stars. So I could be convinced for bottom of B. Yeah.
I had on my Quest A10, I had 3 runs with it. One was pretty high up, A7, A9, and I won that. One was pretty low, 2 or 3, and both of those felt really good. And it just kind of worked. It kind of just meant my stars were higher. And then I did have one at A7 or something where I fought the queen, and she makes it so you can only play one of those first 3 cards. And this was always one of those first 3. It was miserable, impossible. I just died. It just dies to the queen, and my whole deck was relying on playing this every turn. But then I couldn't pay my payoffs, my better cards, because they were one of the 3 bound cards. If you see the queen and diversify quickly, it does not work. But it's worked other times. Supermassive, deal 5 damage, deals 3 additional damage for each card you created this combat.
Yeah, I love this card. Um, in my crate decks, it's like a finisher. I've had this do a lot of damage. Yeah, top of A, or even maybe even S tier in those decks. It's dealt a lot of damage. Um,
Yeah, so that of the 3 main types, we both agree that created cards is the worst of the 3, right? Um,
do
but
I agree with that?
do you think created cards are better than Sovereign Blade?
No,
But
no.
I love rating the payoffs really high, right? Like this is a card that makes that archetype work, and it doesn't super work without a payoff like this, right? Um, I'm gonna defer to you because I literally only won with created card builds once. Maybe I won on A2 or something, but I was prepared to bad talk created card builds, and then they're what I used to beat A10. So I'm
I,
confused. I'm a
I've
confused
done creative
man.
card builds a few times now, and I like them. I think a card that we'll get to has been very pivotal in my creative card builds, and without that card, I feel like it's even more important than the card we're discussing. Um, I'm going to put this in top of A tier or somewhere in A tier. I think the reason why is with creative card builds, if you're creating tons of these colorless cards, you theoretically on paper have infinite value and can do stuff with that value. And so sometimes you don't need this big payoff card because you just have enough value inherent in all the cards you're creating. But I feel like this is just so strong. Like I think I've only gotten this in one of my like 3 created card builds, and it just dealt tons of damage. I was just creating cards all over the place, and then suddenly I draw into this. I was like, "Whoa, that number is already that big!" Like, wow, okay, this card's really good. So yeah, a minimum for sure.
Next, we have Hegemony. It's a 2 mana, deal 15 damage. Um, Next turn, gain 2 energy. Upgraded, it's deal 18 damage. Next turn, gain 3 energy. I hate Hegemony. Uh, I find that when I have this card in my deck, it ends up just rotting in my hand. I know I want to be able to play it. I'm like, oh, it's a free 15 damage. But I really, really slow pace on the turn. I have to put him out. I have to put it out, which means the next. I just don't think it works out. Like I feel like this card is bait for the what's the form? I keep forgetting what the form's called. Is
Void
it
form.
void form? I feel like this card is void form bait. It would be great with void form, but otherwise you don't have enough that you want to use the energy on next turn. But
Right.
also, what am I going to do this turn when I'm
And that's
just
the thing.
throwing this guy
Even
off?
with even with void form, I don't think this card actually synergizes with void form because void form to me reads never worry about mana ever again. And so you don't even need that 2 additional mana that hegemony is generating the next turn. And that's part of the problem I also have with hegemony is that like yeah, it's really expensive now, and the next turn I have so much energy and not very much card draw in Regent, right?
Uh
If I had
huh.
more card draw, you can make use of that energy and have a really powerful next turn. You know, set this up on a turn that they're not attacking very much, and then 5 energy, just blow them up the next turn. But in practice, it's like, ooh, I really have to take a turn off, and then the next turn comes around, it's like, ooh, now I just like can't do that much, even though I have so much energy, and so it's kind of weird. I don't think it's F tier. um, but yeah, no,
Here's the problem. I had hegemony in my deck. It's rotting in my hand every time I see it. I considered removing it at a shop.
Which another point for strike. You'd play strike over it, obviously. So
I'm not sure that's true, but
I think this card is better than Strike, and
I think it's better than strike.
by a tier. Yeah.
Uh, I was wondering if that was going to be a questionable take, but it's been bad.
Yeah, I agree. Like I felt, you know, it has the same effect as Refining Blade, but the fact that it's 2 energy instead of 1 energy makes it so much harder to play this turn and also like less strong the next turn because there's not enough card draw in.
Not enough card draw, and like, what is my deck where I have all these big guys that I need that energy? Like maybe it's Sovereign Blade. I don't know. Knockout blow 3 energy, deal 30 damage. If this kills an enemy, gain 5 stars. Upgraded, it's deal 38 damage. What do you think, Alex?
Yeah, this card immediately makes me think of the card in Defect Sunder, where it 3 mana deal a lot of damage. If fatal, then gain 3 energy, and that's felt so much better to me than this card has because I'm able to kill something and then defend with 3 energy. This I kill something and then I'm like, oh snap, wait, I'm out of energy. I can't do anything, and then I take a lot of damage. I mean, that's a lot of stars, and I still pick it up in the early game because I think 3 mana deal a lot of damage cards can be quite powerful in the early game. And then the star generation can do stuff. Even in the later game, it's a lot of star generation. But I definitely felt better about Sunder. I would put this in like C tier, low C tier. I think. I don't. I think it's better than D tier.
Um, I agree with everything you said, except for I looked at it and said, wow, that card stinks, and I never pick it up. Uh, it makes sense that it's a lot better early game, right? Because 30 damage can almost one shot a lot of early game enemies, right?
Yeah, and if
Um,
they have vulnerable, then it does 50%
yeah,
more obviously.
yeah, enormous, and you probably did vulnerable from falling stars, so there's already 7 there. Yeah, yeah, you're just killing things, right?
Yeah.
So I'll let you keep it in C, but this is a D tier card. I don't know. I've always dodged it. I've because it just have even in early game, I hardly ever see a card reward where there's this and just worse cards than this. Like there's something better for me to choose, so
Yeah,
I've
try
never
picking it
chosen it.
up. 3 mana do a lot of damage. It's not bad. It's not bad.
Yeah. Kingly Kick. 4 mana. Deal 24 damage. Whenever you draw this card, reduce its cost by 1. Uh, is it my turn?
It is.
Now you have to try to figure out if I think Kingly Kick is better than Kingly Punch. Um, it might be. The weirdest thing is you spent your whole game building your deck around these two cards.
I don't. See, that's the difference. I think is that Kingly Punch. You might have to, but Kingly. I mean, honestly, I don't think I picked up either of these cards. Kingly
Oh,
Punch
you
or
need to
King.
run both of them with like 2 photon blasts and one of this guy. It's a great time. But the problem with Kingly Kick is you built your whole deck around it, and then you get to endgame and it's not scaling.
A zero mana deal 24 is a good card,
But not that good at the end, right?
yeah.
So now you're like, Kingly Punch, save me. But for the rest of the run, Kingly Kick's probably better. I want to put it above this guy because I think that guy's trash. But I think around here is probably where they belong.
Yeah, maybe I'll have to pick up Kingly, like specifically because for some reason in my brain, I just realized that it costs 4, which means that the first time you draw it, it's actually a 3-mana card.
Yeah.
And so I should be looking at it like it's a 3-mana card instead of a 4-mana card because I'm like, bro, I'm never gonna get it down to a reasonable cost. It costs 4, but in my brain I should be like, oh, it costs 3 to start off with. So it is base rate 3-mana deal 24, but can be, obviously be much less than that kind of idea.
And
But
I
like
think there's. Go ahead.
2-mana deal 24 is like solid,
Uh-huh.
but like, it's Celestial Might is 2-mana deal 24, but it's like also like nothing exceptional. And so you want this to be getting down to 1 mana before it's like really holding it. It's like, wow, okay, that's a strong card. And I feel like that's a tough ask.
Yeah. Yeah. And it does get down there with some really good cards. I think that's the thing that saves us the most, that maybe means it should be here in C tier, is that its combo pieces are good cards. even even if it's bad, you're like happy that you're playing the other cards in the combo. Alignment is a 0 mana, 2 stars, gain 2 energy. Upgraded, you gain 3 energy. Where would you place this, Alex?
S2.
I would place it in A tier. I think my brain says A tier. My experience says B tier. So,
Um, Alignment's an interesting card. It goes super well with Glow. Uh, in fact, Glow into Alignment is one of the easiest combos, or is the, theoretically simplest combos you can do in the game. Infinites. Um, I feel like it might secretly be S tier. But uh, the problem is you're using all these stars, so then you don't super need the energy, right? It's kind of a weird thing where +3 energy, what am I using that on? But if you can go like star glows into this, you'll have the cards to use it on, or this into glows. You suddenly have the cards and you have so much energy. It's really like take 2 stars, turn it into an extra turn's worth of energy when you have it upgraded. Um, and it does insane things with a card we'll talk about later that I think is pretty good. You good with here and
yeah,
A?
that feels good. Because like even at the beginning of the game, if it's with Venerate, um, you're effectively up 1 mana. You just have to spend 2 cards to get it. So if you have expensive other cards that make that worthwhile, then even like clearly it shows its strength. You just need something to support it, whether that be card draw or expensive cards, because otherwise you just have too much energy.
Yeah, it really does need to be paired with other cards, but it is an incredibly powerful engine when it's paired with the right cards. Like one of the most powerful engines in this deck. but it needs the right cards. Alex, 0 mana largesse. Another player adds 1 random colorless card to their hand.
Yeah, I was like, have I ever seen this
Upgraded.
card before? The answer is no, I haven't, because it's a multiplayer region specific card.
I've been offered this card before.
Yeah, this is all you. I've never. Yeah, this is my first.
Oh, I've never taken it. Well,
Okay.
it's like our first bad multiplayer card.
What was the upgraded version again?
The colorless card is upgraded.
I mean, colorless cards are wonderful.
Colorless
They're
cards
really
are above,
fun.
they're above right? They're usually just better, without synergies, but above right. But the problem is, I don't think I've ever picked this up. I might have generated it randomly off something and played it on someone.
It just costs 0, right?
Yeah, cost 0. I keep comparing it to like cost 0, give someone else 3 energy, right? Which is a real multiplayer card, right?
Okay, you got me there. But if I see this card and I don't like the other 2 cards, I pick this card up. This card's good.
I'd probably put this in C tier. I really like synergies and combos, right? And this is free, give someone else another piece that maybe they'll want, right?
Maybe. How about almost a majority of the time, colorless cards are consistently good regardless of the scenario. Is that true? Probably.
It's a random, and they don't have a card choice, right?
Yeah, but low key, this card's B tier.
I haven't really played with it, but I've seen it in card rewards and chosen not to take it. Can I do top of C for you?
Sure.
Monologue. Whenever you play a card this turn, gain 1 strength this turn. Upgraded, it retains.
I hate this card. To me, it reads 0 mana, deal I don't know. How much strength can we squeeze out of this? Okay, obviously combos with multi-hit cards, but the only multi-hit card that's currently on our list costs 2. And so if you play this, and you play one other card, and then a star card, you gain 2 strength, and then you play your multi-hit card. Okay, fine. There's several multi-hit cards. Anyway, point being, I don't like this card. It should be D tier because it reads 0 mana, deal 6 damage.
I will happily stick it in D tier. It seems like it should combo with my favorite, what I think is some of the highest output you can have in the game. Radiate, Stardust, Glows, Alignments, right? And it retains, so it even is like, okay, this is my big turn, I'm doing it. And all of that should be good. Except for most of the time, it's 0 mana, 3 damage. Or 2 damage.
Yep,
1
yep.
damage.
It's so I don't want to spend my upgrade on this. I just don't.
Yeah, and it needs the upgrade, and it needs to be in the right deck. But it's good in the right deck if that deck's already popping off. Maybe this causes it. Maybe this could be what pushes it from okay to pop off. But really, it only rewards the pop off, and the pop off is usually high enough.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, no, it's not good.
It can be. I would happily move some of the end of this into.
I think we should put it in F tier.
You think we should put Monologue in F tier?
I would rather have a defend in my deck than Monologue. Is that true? Maybe.
There can be room in F tier above defense.
No, I'm saying put this below defend but above strike.
That feels personal.
Oh, what? Strikes are way worse than defense, Thomas.
I think Monologue's better than that.
Yeah,
but
is it?
I will stick him in F tier if you let me also drag these 2 cards down into F tier.
Hegemony's not F tier. You can put that down though. Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Okay, we're cooking. I like this.
Next, we're in one of the cards I am most curious about. It's a 0 mana, 2 stars, Particle Wall. Gain 9 block. Return this card to your hand. Upgraded, it is gain 12 block. What do you think about this card, Alex? Is
That
it
0 mana gain infinite energy is pretty broken in my opinion.
infinite block?
I- infinite, yeah, sorry, infinite block. Um, no, I've used this card once, and I didn't even have that. I don't know. It felt quite good to me though. It did feel quite good to me. Um, so I would push. Do I think it's A tier worthy? Probably not. Maybe.
We've got Cloak of Stars, 0, 1, 7 block, right? This is 0, 2, 9. One
Amount
extra
of
star for.
stars. You have an infinite amount of stars. Don't you you just generate so many stars, and then you get this card, and you're good for the turn. You just play it 4 times. It's kind of insane.
I am so particle wall curious because I've like never picked this up. Maybe had it once. The problem is I've always been like, well, I want all my stars dumped into a stardust that's going to kill the boss. Going to do 400 damage to the boss, right? Have I ever had it 400? It's done in crazy amounts of damage, right? So it's like, oh, do I want that? But I just look at it and I say, however much block I need, right?
Yep, yep. That's what it reads. It's pretty nice.
Um,
Uh, yeah, high B tier feels good. You need to make this truly pop off. You do need a lot of star generation. Obviously, these jokes about having infinite stars is not reality. Sadly, you do need to get those stars somehow, and this does
the,
suck up your stars pretty quickly when you want to use it. Yeah, so high B feels good because you know infinite block is really good. If you have tons of stars
yeah.
and they're like, oh, I'm punching you for 50. Normally you'd be terrified, and this time you just play it 4 times and you still have 3 energy.
And I've been looking for better ways to get block in Regent because I think he kind of struggles with that. Struggles with card draw, struggles with block.
Maybe you pick up too many 1 cost deal damage cards. Just kidding.
I pick up glitter streams and they stopped working for me. And that's our
Fair.
only 2 damage, 2 cost deal block. Um, I can't believe you don't play with photon cuts all the time. Can't believe you don't like pommel strike. Isn't that what you said the other day? Insane.
Okay. Follow strike is good, but no, yeah, I mean, yeah, you could say I don't like follow strike, and I feel like I'm
Cool.
just gonna be roasted for that by everybody ever, and so I'm terrified to say that. But
Yeah. In the comments below, put whether or not you think pommel strike is one of the best cards in Ironclad.
okay, tell me if it's better than the B tier in colorless cards, because that's what we compared it to. I said Pommel Strike is worse than the B tier in colorless cards. And you're like, nah, nah, but that card's broke. That card's so good in Ironclad. And I'm like, well, colorless card B tier pretty good. Pommel Strike worse. That's my take. That's the specific take.
Pommel strike's
Um,
so good.
anyway,
I only have 2 monitors. One's got the game open reading the cards, one's got this Facebook streaming. So I just have this fear occasionally that OBS isn't running, but I'm not going to check.
I thought about running my own OBS just in case, and then
Just
Thomas started out before I did, so like, yeah, it's whatever.
maybe we should have. Because I would be. I don't have the energy to do this again, but I'm
Yeah.
loving this and I want it to go out to the world. Um, but I don't think I can do it twice.
Yeah. Yeah.
It'd have to be like we rate Ben and Thomas's picks.
Joseph, do you think that the quality of the video would be so much worse for you to check OBS than for you to take a minute and a
No, no,
half
no.
to talk
It's
about
not. It's not the quality. It's the fact that he's scared that he's gonna check it and it won't be recording. We
it.
didn't,
Oh,
we finished it. We got to finish it all the way through. Have a really good time. Make a really good video, and then at the end, learn that all the effort was not
Yeah.
recorded. We can't do it in the middle. It gives us this awkward, like, weird stopping spot where we're just like, well, do we like
Yeah.
finish? Like, what do we do now? You just can't have that. You just can't have
I see. I see.
Um,
Okay.
that.
But if you guys check now and it's not recording, you guys can play a multiplayer game with me, yeah?
no, I would go to bed because I should have gone to bed an hour and a half ago. Got to be on the road early tomorrow for my niece's baptism. Quasar. It's a 0 mana, 2 stars. Choose one of 3 random colorless cards to add into your hand. Upgraded, the colors cards come upgraded. Alex, what do you think of Quasar?
It's an interesting card. When I have enough star production, it's felt pretty strong. Colorless cards are really strong, and at the same time, it's kind of weird because it feels like you're spending energy, or you're spending stars rather, to get a card, and you're like, why didn't I just draw that card in the first place? How about instead of this card, I just have a good card? And so instead of spending stars, I just draw a good card that I can play. However, you're going to choose one of 3 options, and colorless cards are above rate, so it gives you flexibility. So in general, I kind of like this card. I'd probably put it in B tier, low B tier.
I'm like probably a super low B tier with Quasar, maybe bottom of B. Uh, just find it. I've tried to run it in as a splash card in non or like in my star deck, right? It's splashing creative cards, and it's been super inconsistent there. And I'm pretty sure it's very good in colorless decks, right? Or in creative card decks. But um Quasar. I don't know. It's just it's a man without a home because it costs those 2 stars. But it's
Yeah.
an okay man without a home. Royal Gamble, a 0 mana, 5 stars. Gain 9 stars, exhaust. Upgraded, it gains the keyword retain. I love Royal Gamble. I would put it right around Hidden Cash. Royal Gamble, I don't. I'm not sure it's the best way to generate stars. If your deck needs like a slightly flat rate of stars, like it doesn't need infinite stars, but it needs to eat like 13 stars over the course of the combat, Royal Gamble can be a great way to bridge from having 6 or so stars to having the amount of stars you need. Um, and what often happens is it kind of needs an upgrade, which might be one of its issues. But then as soon as you have 5 stars, you can play Royal Gamble. You now gained 9. It's this big leap up. And you get to, in decks you're struggling to generate stars, it can fill a gap really well. It the other thing that's important to note is it's just insane with Radiate because it's normally net 4 stars, right? But Radiate acts like you just gained 9 stars and hits 9 times to all enemies. So it just is flat. Give Radiate 27 damage to everyone. Yeah. What's your thoughts on Royal Gamble?
Yeah. This card is called a Royal Gamble. Gamble for a reason. Okay, I picked this card up when I shouldn't because I do not have enough star production. And you just make it work, and you never upgrade it. You don't waste an upgrade on this card. You just say, "I will have 5 stars when I draw this card," and it's amazing. It's so good. That's how I play with this card. It's truly a gamble because I'm just like, don't know if I'm gonna have 5 stars, but I'm just gonna bank on it. And maybe I don't even have enough star production. Because here's the thing: you don't need any star production. You start with three, you play one venerate, and
Uh,
then you draw this, and you're done. You're good. That's all you need. That's all you need. And so I love this card, and I pick it up when I shouldn't. And I would put this in A tier.
I want to be convinced to be better than that. I'm not sure it is, but I mean, if you want me to pull it higher, I will. I like Royal Gamble a lot.
Yeah, I think it's really strong with another card that we're getting to, which is the power card that gets you block every time you spend stars. Um, Super strong with that. I think it's just having that burst, like you were referencing the concept of hitting this threshold of stars. If I only have 5 stars, I play one comet and my deck is dry.
Uh
If I
huh.
have a Royal Gamble, I play a comet and suddenly I'm slapping some other random star cards on, dealing so much more damage because now they have vulnerable, and then it just like flows so much easier. It really like just makes everything a lot cleaner.
Yeah.
And it stalls for time, even you could argue, for these other star generation cards, because it gives you that burst in stars. I'm a big fan.
Yeah, I'll pull it to bottom of A. I like it a lot. So,
Yeah, you don't need to waste an upgrade.
yeah. Uh,
Just always have 5 stars.
just always just
I
do it.
say that, and the number of times I've drawn this card and not have 5 stars is numerous.
Yeah,
I've definitely lost a run because I picked up this card and then having no star generation and it's just dead in my hand.
yeah. Like a card like Falling Stars, it never gets an upgrade, right?
Yeah,
Royal Gamble, that's a much bigger jump in card quality with the upgrade, right?
that's fair.
Charge 1 mana, choose 2 cards in your draw pile to transform into minion strikes. Um, Minion strikes is a 0 mana, deal 7 damage, draw 1 card, exhaust. Upgraded charge does makes the minion strikes pluses, which are 10 damage. What do you think of charge, Alex?
I really like this card. Every time I've used it, it's felt really strong. It gives you that burst specifically because it generates zero cost attack cards. I feel like it flows really well with Falling Star at the beginning of the game because you can slap, not only do you slap a Falling Star plus 3 strikes as your normal amount of burst, now you've got these really fluid zero costs that draw a card, drawing you into more strikes or into each other, and it gives you even a bigger burst range. Um, I feel like this card is really strong. I dare say even A tier, strangely enough.
You'd
And
put
it
this
also
card in
combos.
A tier?
I put it in A tier, yeah. It also combos well with card generation synergies, which is obviously very strong. But even without that, I feel like the card is solid. Transforming cards in general has the flexibility of specific fights. If you have burns, you can get rid of those. If you have those eyeballs from the fish
Ugh.
boss fights,
Ugh.
you can get rid of those.
Oh.
Yeah, I really like this card.
Uh, I have to disagree. I think Charge is one of the best cards in Regent.
Ah,
I think this is S tier. I think it works in every deck. I think it's one of your best. I think it's the best card in the random generation colorless card thing. You get rid of things you don't want, and then there's 0 cost, 7 damage, draw a card, exhaust. Like those
really
cards are
good.
crazy, right?
Yeah,
And those are so good that it works in. You can pick this up in any deck, and it will be a solid role player in a lot of them. And then in colorless cards, it's one of the best. I think it's just an
yeah,
all-rounder, all-star, top of the heap.
yeah. And another thought that I just had is I love the flexibility of being able to choose which cards. I mean, obviously, it'd be much, much worse if it just chose random cards from your deck. But specifically, I'm referencing the fact that at times during specific fights, I'm like, oh, their health total is getting really low. Let me just transform these defends And so now I'm just going to draw into only strikes and minion strikes and
Mm-hmm.
like only have my deck be attack cards because I'm going to just burst them down next turn. And so I think it's really cool how you can use it in different ways depending on where you're at in the fight for better
Mm-hmm.
effect.
Such a good card. Such a good card. The next card is Conqueror. It is a 1 mana Forge 3. Sovereign Blade deals double damage to the enemy this turn. I think this is a interesting card, and it reveals one of the issues with Sovereign Blade, because Sovereign Blade costs 2, this costs 1. So this says take your entire turn to just strike, and
A real
then
big strike.
do 100 damage, right? Or 200 damage. And so I think it's a B card, a B tier card, but I think it's really hard um, to devote your whole turn to just punch, right? And this has to line up with Sovereign Blade. It has Retain, so that happens more than you might expect. But I just would put it in B tier, maybe behind Glitter Stream.
I think this is an A tier card.
Sure, I love
Sovereign
Sovereign
Blade
Blade.
get
You
real
convinced me.
big. Sovereign Blade get real big. Double damage real big equals real good. Um, in my opinion. I think like the turn you're playing Sovereign Blade anyway is already going to be a low defensive turn. If you save 1 mana, like tell me what you'd rather do. Play a 1 mana, like I don't know, what's that random card? Gather Light, or like what's the other one? The patter, is that what it's called? Would you rather gain like 10 block or deal like 100 more damage? You tell me, like and obviously it's not going to be 100 damage every time. It's going to be like 50, right? But like you just take the extra 10 damage. And you punch the boss real hard
Yeah.
and
I think it's worse in hallway fights.
yeah,
Um,
but arguably like even then you 1 mana, oh no, I'm not defending, well that's okay because I'm just killing it anyway.
uh-huh, uh-huh. Um, yeah, I don't know. It plays really slow, really off tempo, really all those things I've been bashing Sovereign Blade, even though I think it might be my favorite archetype in Regent to get off well. But to be clear, I think this is a pickup in those decks. It's an immediate pickup in those decks. I'm okay with it being an A. Convergence, 1 mana. Next turn, gain 1 energy and 1 star. Retain your hand this turn. Upgraded, it is 1 energy and 2 stars. What do you think of Convergence, Alex?
Yeah, interesting card. I enjoy the fact that it allows you to retain your hand, which gives you use for that additional mana that you're generating. It's kind of this interesting. Hey, let me just pause for a second. I don't need to do anything else. I'm just going to pause for a second and have a better next turn because I've already done enough this turn. And that's cool. I think it's a cool card. I think frequently I don't end up playing it. I feel like maybe I underutilize it. Um, so I would feel C tier. Uh, Even though I feel like it's better than I'm giving it credit for. I feel like it's got more potential than I'm squeezing out of it.
I feel like Convergence reveals my skill issue with Retain. I think a lot of things that have Retain are really, really, really good, probably. And I say skill issue. I don't do that very well. I hardly ever pick this card up. I pretty much never because it just doesn't directly synergize with what I'm doing. Um, but it feels like it's probably busted. And I just don't play it right. Because, like, of the boss relics in the previous game, the pyramid that lets you always retain your hand might have been the strongest of all of them, right?
Yeah.
And this says do that for a turn, right? Do the strongest boss relic for a turn, plus 1 energy, plus a star. But
Right,
yeah.
it really does. Like this card, Refined Blade reads, oh, this costs 0, kind of, but like this actually reads it costs 0 because you retain your hand, so you will have enough cards to play the next turn to make use of all your mana in the most effective way possible. And then it just gives you a star, which is nice. And so it's just like, yeah, just reallocate a little bit of resources to your next turn. You're already chilling on this turn for whatever reason, so just just distribute a little and get a little buff because you get some extra stars. But you have to spend a card to draw it,
Mm-hmm.
which is obviously a downside. Um,
Does Quasar really belong here in B? Doesn't.
yeah,
Uh, the next card is Glimmer. It's a 1 energy, draw 3 cards. Put 1 card from your hand on top of your draw pile. Upgraded, it's 1 mana, draw 4 cards. Alex, what do you think of Glimmer?
card draw. It's fine. It's good. It's like I don't honestly like it a ton. I'd probably put it C tier. Um, whenever I pick it up because I feel like on paper it should be good, and then most of the time I'm like, man, really wish I was just playing a card this turn.
Yeah,
I don't know.
let's compare it to Acrobatics in the Silence. It's Acrobatics says draw as many cards. Upgraded says draw as many cards. And here we get to put it on top instead of discard. And in Silent, when you discard a card, you get to play it for free, no matter its cost, right? You play a Sly card. So that reads draw 4 cards, find your Sly card, discard it, and play it for free. This reads draw 3 cards, power up your Kingly Punch. And
Yeah,
I don't think it's good. I don't usually take it. I take Photon Cut. I think does this a
yeah,
lot better.
yeah. I could. Yeah, you could shift it down.
Okay. I think I take it over these 2 cards. About even with this guy for me. Manifest Authority. 1 energy, gain 7 block. Add 1 random colorless card into your hand. When this is upgraded, it adds a random upgraded colorless card to your hand. Uh, is this my turn? Oh, this is hard to rate. I think colorless cards are the worst, but I think this is a solid. Or colorless decks are the worst. I think this is a solid card in that deck. I think it's better than Quasar in that deck. I might put it right about here in B tier. What do you think, Alex?
Yeah, I would probably agree roughly with that placement. I think it's a great card. Colors cards are just great, and I like 1 mana gain block cards in general. I think it is better than Patter. I'd probably put it higher in B tier.
Okay.
I would also put Devastate lower in B tier, but obviously we're kind of just chucking stuff in there in the tiers. Tiers are not super organized, just very roughly so. Um, yeah, no, I think this card is good outside of crate decks too. Like colorless cards are good, and so you can just slap this card in any deck and it will perform just fine. And then obviously in crate decks, it's
Also,
strong.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Reflect 1 mana, 3 stars, gain 17 block. Blocked attack damage is reflected to your attacker this turn. Upgraded, it does 21 block. What do you think of Reflect?
I put it in S tier for a guy like me. This is an S tier card. One
I
mana, block the whole turn, and punch them. It's like what the that's broken. Just ignore the 3 stars. It's crazy. It's so good. It's so good.
Don't ignore the 3 stars. Let's talk about them. When you don't have the stars or you don't need to play it, you don't play it. It doesn't take the 3 stars. And then when you need 21 block, there's few other cards. This is one of the best ways to get it in this entire card pool. I think Reflect is amazing. I think it's might be your best block card in this entire card pool. I think
Yeah.
S tier is valid. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
Next we have Resonance. 1 energy, 3 stars. Gain win strength. All enemies lose 1 strength. What do you think of Resonance, Alex?
I've tried to use this card in my multi-strike build, and I find that it just costs too many stars for too little effect and energy. So I think this card is too expensive. The effect is quite powerful. Um, yeah, but I just think it's too expensive. I'd probably put it C tier low.
Do you think it's I would probably put this card in D tier myself. It's so expensive. And it's the same exact cost of Reflect, which we just talked about. And
True.
it's like, oh, you all lost 1 strength. I'm gonna be safe now.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, you can convince me to put it in D.
yeah, I just,
Yeah.
yeah,
Because even in the deck that I thought it should be good, I'm like, what am I doing here? Like, yeah.
yeah. Um,
Make it cost 0 or make it cost like 2 stars, something, something.
yeah, I think the problem is if it's really good, it does weird things to the game. I don't know. I'm really curious to try some of this strength reducing in multiplayer. I want to try that because it
Well,
has in a 4 player game, it has a 4 times effect, right?
I
But
mean, yeah, true. And I think, interestingly enough, it's the gain strength that might be broken, uh, in terms of the fact that it's not common for us to get cards that give you strength that don't either exhaust or is a power card.
yeah,
Um, like I compare this card to the 2 mana card in Ironclad, where like you gain 2 strength, the enemy gains 1 strength. Isn't it something weird like that? I
I,
don't like that card.
that's probably a bad
Um,
card.
but like I've seen people use. I mean, okay, I saw one clip, and I'm just like, okay, they made that card look really good, but I don't know. So gaining strength in general is a really powerful effect, I think. But in this case, I feel like it just costs too much.
Yep, it's bad. The next card, I'm so glad I get to talk about this. Summon Forth. Half of a Summon Forth, maybe, is all the JPEG we have. It's 1 energy, 4J. Put Sovereign Blade into your hand from anywhere. Upgraded, it is Forge 11. So, you never upgrade this, but we finally see why Spoils of Battle was so bad. It forged 2 more. And this puts Sovereign Blade back into your hand, which is one of the most important things to do with Sovereign Blade. I think this is an S tier card. I see this and I say, I think I could do a Sovereign Blade run this time. I think it's great.
Yeah, I would agree. I think it also sets up for like really strong turns where you gain 2 energy for some reason, like through the alignment, and then you Sovereign Blade, return to your hand Sovereign Blade.
Yeah.
It
Oh,
just be crazy.
crazy
You could
stuff.
do
Oh.
crazy stuff with this. So yeah, no, S tier for me as well.
I'm really curious to hear your thoughts on terraforming. It's a 1 mana, gain 6 vigor, upgraded it's 8 vigor. Uh, what are your thoughts on terraforming?
Yeah, 1 mana deal like 40 3 damage is really good. Is that the math? What's 7 times 6? My times tables are getting rusty. Yeah, 43. Um, no, I in general I love the vigor mechanic. So even if this card is only okay, I think it's really cool. But like with multi strike, right? You one mana deal 24, one mana deal 18. There's a lot of cool stuff here.
You
Um,
King's Gambit into your this, and it's 1 mana gain 54.
yeah, yeah, vigor. I mean I love vigor. It's but like in practice, yeah, it's probably just C tier, isn't it?
I haven't picked up this card very much. I think the problem is it combos with some of your best things. And so remember when we talked with this monologue card and we're like, yeah, it increases the top end of some of your best stuff when they don't need the top end. This isn't that bad. Like it really does increase those cards. I'm very vigor curious, but I don't know. It's just like I'd rather have if I'm doing those multi-hit cards, they require stars, so rather have like summon light, right? Even though this really does juice the pop off.
Yeah, and it's one of the more consistent ways of getting vigor. Like that's a lot of vigor compared to your other vigor gainers. Like the only other time that I've ran a vigor deck that really worked is when I started with the colorless card and I got the power that you gain 4 vigor at the start of every turn.
Mm.
And so I built my entire deck around that.
Oh,
Um,
that sounds
it was great.
wonderful.
It was so much fun. And I just like stalled forever until I could gain enough vigor and I just piled it up and then I just blew them up. It was really cool.
That's
Um,
cool.
yeah, so like this in hand, this is I like the fact that you can just stack it up. Maybe I'm just talking about how much I like vigor because the card in and of itself is probably just a C tier card, but I really like it.
Yeah, it's one of the. There's not that many vigor things. It's a very small subset, right? And so I think Patter's slightly better of a vigor, but it's worse at being a vigor card. But it's like a
Yeah,
better card.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, for sure.
so I'll like splash a Patter in when I'm doing these radiate starlight things, right? Because it's an easier splash than terraforming. Um, Bulwark 2 energy, gain 13 block. Forge 10, upgraded, it gains 16 block. I think Bulwark is the other pillar of
Yeah,
Sovereign Blades. I think this guy is the second best defend card in the deck. Um, I've often I get like Reflects, Bulwarks, and Glitter Streams, and Glitter Stream showed itself to be the worst. And this showed itself to be the best by the end. But I think Bulwark's great. I think it's S tier.
yeah. I find a bulwark at the beginning of the run, and I'm just like, okay, cool, like fantastic card. Even if I don't end up doing Sovereign Blade stuff, but if I do, it's like even better. But even like just buy a card, 2 mana, game block cards. I love those. And then Forge 10 is like could be read as deal 10 damage repetitively. And so you compare this to Dash, I guess, is the best comparison I can think of, which is 2 mana attack and silent, which is block 10, deal 10. And that card's quite strong, I think. And this reminds me of that. Yeah, I love this card.
I think it's
It's like
great.
a snap. It's often just a snap pickup for me. Yeah.
Yeah, no, Bulwark's great. Yeah, I also want to say Sovereign Blade, because it gets mentioned a lot. Even if you just had one Bulwark and Sovereign Blade became a 2 mana, 20 damage retain, the fact that it says retain means it's way better than it would be
Retain
otherwise.
broken.
Retain's
Ooh.
broken, and so like even if Bulwark was just splashed in another deck, it works because Sovereign Blade retains, and so then that turn, just one turn, you'll have too much energy, and they won't be attacking, and you'll get to play it right. The next is a I say Regent doesn't have draw.
Oh, talking about this is the card draw of all time.
This is the best, maybe the best card draw in the game. This is a 2 energy, Prophesize. Draw 6 cards. Upgraded, it draws 9 cards. Alex, are you getting upgraded Prophesize into your deck?
No, I'm slapping this in D tier for a guy like me. I never play this card ever.
I don't think I picked this up
In what world?
once.
In what world do I need 6 cards? And at that point, I only have 1 energy. So I better have a whole heck of a lot of alignments because that's the only way I'm getting out of that scenario. Yeah, no, I do not like this card, unfortunately. Yeah. Even though the upgraded version is very funny to me.
9 cards. Let me make a case for Prophesize. I think Prophesize is void form bait. I think it is terrible almost all the time. But if you have void form going, well, draw 6 cards for free would be wonderful with a void form on.
True.
And so I think it's just there to combo with void form, but void form is a rare that you probably won't see. And so maybe you pick this up after you have void form, but I probably wouldn't even do that then, because it would just draw your void form and then you wouldn't be able to play it. Black Hole. Whenever you spend or gain stars, deal 4 damage to all enemies. It's my turn. Sorry. I think this is a solid role player card. In Star decks, it's easy enough to spend 1 energy to then, anytime you do anything, gain damage. I'd say this is probably slightly better than Royal Gamble. Maybe around Falling Star, right around there. Yeah, I don't think the damage is enough to warp runs or anything, but I think it's just worth picking up in those decks. Very solid chip amount of damage. Yeah.
I don't like it as much as you do. I think I've just found that I want to put it in I'm like, yeah, this seems like a deck that I want to put it in. And so then I do, and then I end up not having the time to play it, strangely enough. I find it to be a power card that I don't care to prioritize playing down. And however, AoE is good. But I would put this in B tier. I still think it's okay. It's like theoretically fine chip damage. I've been unimpressed by when I've ran it.
I'll take the top. Child of the Stars. Whenever you spend stars, gain 2 block for each spent. Upgraded, this is 3 block. What do you think of Child of the Stars? If you don't like this one either, right?
No, this one's S tier for me. This card makes my star runs so good. It's so good in Star. Also, Black Hole, right? It reads whenever you spend or gain, but I can play Royal Gamble and it does it once.
Yeah.
Child of the Stars, I play Royal Gamble and I gain 10 block or 15 if it's upgraded. It's
Child of the Stars only on the spend side, but yes.
Yeah, sorry, not on the game side. This is true.
True. You should say Black Hole 6 with Royal Gargle, and this is 18 block.
True.
Or it's 4 now, so only but whatever. The per star is crazy. It lets you play your top end combo, what I was building stars for cards, and then also block fully that turn.
You read Comet, it's like deal 44, apply a bajillion vulnerable and weak, and gain 15 block now. And then like if you get 2 copies of Child of Stars in play, it's just like it does everything. You do
duplicated potion on Child of the Stars. Yeah, I think This is one of my points about high level ascension for Regent. I think block can be difficult, and you need to think and find and prioritize having a way to get enough block for the end game. And Child of the Stars is just one of those ways. Next power cards. We're going through all the power cards right now. Furnace at the start of your turn, Forge 4. Upgraded, it is Forge 6. I think Furnace is I want to put it low A. I think this is just a great role player card in Forge decks. There's not too much to say about it, but you get on turn 1, and this does most your forging for you. And so if you want to play with the forge mechanic, I think Furnace really works.
Yeah, low A feels about right. It's always just seemed like a solid card. I haven't used it a ton, to be honest, but it just does work. I feel like
it does work. Yeah. One question, one card I'm really curious to get your opinion on, because I think it's bad, but I've seen things online where people think it's good. Pale blue dot. If you play 5 or more cards in a turn, draw 1 card at the start of your next turn. Upgraded, it's draw 2 cards at the start of your next turn.
Okay, I read this card, and I've heard. Okay, so you know the card called Accelerate.
Is that a power that draws 1 card?
Yeah, draw an additional card at the start of each of your turns. No requirement necessary. And that's in defect. Obviously, it's a rare instead of an uncommon. I don't know if that distinction is important, but I've heard rumors that theoretically Accelerate is not the greatest card because it takes the first time you draw it, you play it, and then the next turn, the card you draw should have been the card that you drew if you didn't have Accelerate in your deck. And then the next turn, now you're starting, you get 1 card. So then it's like you spent 1 mana, draw 1. And then the next turn, 1 mana, draw 2. And so it's so slow before it actually starts paying off its dividends. Obviously, in defect, you have power synergies, so it can be good regardless if you simply have power synergies going on. But that's Accelerate is on paper bad. And this is on paper much, much worse. Like, I don't understand this card. I read this card and I'm like, how on earth? This is like, what?
Upgraded.
Yeah, to me, this is like F tier.
Upgraded is draw 2 cards.
I don't care. This card's so bad. Okay, fine. Yeah. Upgraded is 2 cards. That is a big difference.
And Glow gets nerfed in one of the beta patches, so your best draw card goes, and then you're left with all these bad draw cards that we've talked about. So I've heard people like it.
Also fair is that I can't compare this strictly to Accelerate because they're 2 different characters, and this character has a lot less card draw.
And I played with Pale Blue Dot once or twice because I saw things online saying it was good, and it's crap. I don't.
Also, how do you play 5 cards in a turn consistently?
How do you play 5 cards consistently in this deck?
Unless you're silent.
You void form?
I'm gonna void form. True. I'm gonna regret saying that because I'm pretty sure during our colorless tier list card, Ben and I were like, "Nah, Patchy is good. You play 5 cards more often than you think."
Yes, you did. But you played a lot.
Yeah, you're pretty insistent on that, actually.
You were very insistent. I'm like, Patchy sucks. So what I'm talking about?
No, it costs 0 though. This costs 1.
I'd rather get the draw probably than the damage from Patchy.
AoE though, AoE.
Yeah. But I just so you can play 5 cards in a turn by using like stars and stuff, but it feels like you have to be spending stars to play that many cards, and you need draw to play 5 cards, and it's only good if it's upgraded. And
Yeah,
It stinks.
I read this card, I'm like, accelerate is bad, and this is worse accelerate. What is going on? How does this
what,
card exist?
what is
How did they
going?
get this?
Yeah, but accelerate like gets cheaper instead of more draws, right? If accelerate was draw 2 cards, it'd be good.
Accelerate becomes an 8.
Okay, it
Uh,
becomes an A. Yeah. Parry, 1 energy. Hey, whenever you play Sovereign Blade, gain 6 block. Upgraded, it's 9 block. What do you think of parry?
rumor has it this card's real bad, but my heart loves it.
This card
I
is real
love
bad.
the theory that I could put 2 parries in play,
Uh-huh.
and then I play a Sovereign Blade, and I'm like, oh, I lose no tempo from punching you because I blocked this turn too. I love that thought. Um, but
I love
I
that thought, and then what happens is it's not enough block to not require you to play a block card.
yeah, you really
So
need specifically 2 upgraded parries to make it good. That's a hard ask.
that's so hard ass.
Um,
Or a duplication potion or something
I
on
mean,
the.
you could
But
get away with like one upgraded, one not. But even that, like one upgraded is not. Anyway, yeah, it's not.
yeah,
It's. I
in
like it though. I like it.
I think this is a D tier card, maybe towards the top of D.
Yeah,
I like it, but I think it's just D tier in power.
yeah, that's
Because you can't take the tempo off because it doesn't give you enough block. So you
yeah,
still just hold your Sovereign Blade in until a time
yeah,
you don't
exactly.
need to block, and so it doesn't do anything.
Yep, 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 yep.
I've tried playing it a couple times. Pillars of Creation. Whenever you create a card, gain 3 block. Upgraded, it's gain 4 block. What do you think of this?
S tier. This card single-handedly makes crate decks just like so good. You
Um,
just do stuff and then you're blocked. You don't even need to do anything else.
yeah, no. So my A10 was this card. But I had Bag of Holding, Gambling Chip, and the relic that the first card you played would double play. So every time I discard, I'd mull 7 to try to find this and get it played twice. And then I would just have infinite block. It was
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah, it's incredible. It's
Um,
it's
yeah, no.
pivotal.
And when you're struggling to find block, this is one of the ways. I might drop it a tier because I doubt the archetype, right? Unlike Charge, which I think is the best card in the archetype and goes in other decks, this really has to be in the archetype, right?
And that's fair, is that yeah,
But it
yeah,
is it is one of your linchpin cards, right? It's one of the cards that will make the archetype work. Um,
yeah,
so it's
yeah.
good to be up high for those cards. Orbit, 2 energy. Every 4 energy you spend, gain 1 energy. Upgraded, it costs 1. What do you think of Orbit? Oh, is it my turn? Orbit's okay. Orbit, I think, is like a C tier card. Uh, it's like, I don't know, if it's 2 energy, right? It takes 2.5 turns to pay itself back or so. But like you really see it coming, and you get playing your turns around it, and you just get a little bit more energy. Um, Maybe
Dude,
I
if you
might
have
even put it
4 in
bottom of
play,
B, but no, I feel like near the top of C. What do you
and
think of
if you have
Orbit?
4 in play, you know, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that is pretty good, Alex. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. My problem with this card is that it costs 2. I need it upgraded, otherwise I just cannot play it. Especially in hallway fights, they're just too short for this to make
Yeah.
its
Yeah. You
value
aren't
back.
playing this in hallway.
Um, yeah, I need this upgraded, otherwise it's just like a dead card, and that's rough. However, big Happy Flower fan, and if it is upgraded, that's it's way better Happy Flower. Like, so I do
Mm.
like this card. Yeah, the fact that it demands an upgrade from me and it's pretty useless in hallway fights makes it lower. So like C tier feels fine.
And
Yeah.
every 4 you spend, gain 1 means pretty much you get 1 extra energy per turn because you had 4 energy to spend because you gained 1, right? So like that
True.
sounds like it should be better than it actually is.
Yeah.
If it just said +1 energy per turn, it would be better, I think. But yeah, this is good. This is C.
I don't
Costume
know. Maybe you convinced me. It could be B.
it could be B. It definitely could be. I could see it better than Quasar. But not most of the rest of B.
I think it's better than Devastate.
I think I
Okay, I
put
like
this in
this.
B, and I think this is better than Devastate, or Devastate's better
Mm,
than this.
mm.
Just needs a little setup. I was talking to
I
a
don't know.
coworker, Jacob, if you're
Joseph
watching
hates
this.
you hate AoE because it's not good against bosses. And let me tell you, Orbit's like only good against bosses.
Do you want to
That's
above
pretty
Quasar?
good.
If I can move it above Quasar, I will put things above it. Um,
Yeah. No, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
we'll leave it here. Spectrum Shift. It's 2 energy at the start of your turn. Add 1 random colorless card into your hand. Upgraded. It only costs 1. Um,
Uh, yeah. Same problem here for me. It demands an upgrade from me, and I hate cards that do that. However, I think it's really good in crate card things,
yeah, we
but
keep
not
calling
like
it
for
colorless
hazy.
card decks, but I think it's created card decks might be a better way to call it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think low B tier is good.
Okay.
Um, I don't know. I've had like two runs that I've had two of these out in play, and then I get like a couple pillars of creation, and then it just auto generates, like eight block at the
Yeah.
start of every turn and stuff, and you can really get cooking there. But like it demands an upgrade, and it's I don't know. Low
Man,
B feels
I
good.
really hope OBS hasn't had any issues. Ah. Yeah,
I'm
no,
sure your output's probably 260p. It's okay. Just post it.
and even in your explanation, you can see how worse it is than Pillars of Creation because you're like, it's good because you have Pillars of Creation out, right? And if you have it out, yeah, no, this is really good. But also, it doesn't do as much just on its own. But it's a solid role player in the archetype. Comment. Alex has mentioned it 24 times. I'm going to let him talk about this again because it is his card apparently. It's a 0 energy, 5 stars, deal 33 damage, apply 3 weak, apply 3 vulnerable. Upgraded, it does 44 damage.
Yeah, I like zero mana deal 44. I think that's pretty good. So I think this card's pretty good. I think it's A tier. I don't think it's as strong as our previously referenced Gamma or something. Because it costs a lot of stars. You need a lot of star production. It's harder to slop in decks. Like if you pick up this card, it's because you're running stars. But boy, oh boy, you play this card, you have a Child of Stars out in play. It just does everything, and it does so much damage. And they have tons of vulnerable and tons of weak for like the rest of combat. And it costs zero mana, so you can just burst them down with 3 mana remaining, or of course just gain stars back. I really like this card.
Or block or whatever, right? And it's yeah, no, this card's great. I think you're spot on. Heavenly Drill. Heavenly Drill. X energy. Deal 8 damage X times, double X if it's 4 or more. So, if you put upgraded, it does 10 damage. So if you have this upgraded, we put all 3 energy into it, it does 30 damage. If we put 4 energy into it, we double X, and so it does 80 damage. I love Heavenly Drill. Uh, I am. It is so situational. Because you're not generating extra energy off much in this deck, right? So it is so situational. It is
Well, you keep
so
saying this deck when you mean this character.
this character, yeah, this character. It's so situational, but when it works, it's just a one card kill 'em, you know? There is very few single cards, so much output. It combos with vigor. I want to put it at the very top of B or bottom of A. It's so infrequent that it's actually good. You kind of need like an alignments, or you need some other things because you need to cross that 4. Maybe like clairvoyance could do it or hegemony, but oh my gosh, when it works, it just does stuff. I'm gonna stick it right at the top of B. Have you heavenly bladed for 5 before?
I
Heavenly
think 4
drill.
has been my max. I think 4 has been my max. Maybe I have done 5 actually. I
You
don't.
just start to turn alignment into heavenly drill and use all of it, and that's 5.
I think it's too situational to be A tier, so I would probably agree with B tier here. But I mean, I did just watch a clip today where somebody did use it with 19 mana, and it seemed pretty good. So
Yeah, but having 19 mana is, very difficult. Glows into alignments is probably what they did. Um,
I think it was multiplayer. They probably had somebody we believe in them.
and then, so good. So fun. Maybe I'm misjudging it because it's fun, but like you don't have to pick it up every game. And when you do pick it up because your deck works for it, it is just a powerhouse. It really works and does what it's supposed to. It's just usually you shouldn't pick it up. Make it so 0 mana. Attack, deal 6 damage. Every 3 skills you play in a turn, put this into your hand.
Slap this in F tier or D tier, dude. I don't even know, bro. Like, this card is not good. Is it just me? When's the last time you played 3 skills in one turn?
It's not just you.
And the
This
payoff is
lunar
deal 6
blast,
damage.
this
That's the
monologue.
payoff?
The payoff is 6 damage. I mean, if you're doing it accidentally, right, it's better than a Pananchi. Um, But no, this Lunar Blast, this monologue, there's this small sub package of cards that says, hey, you're going to play a lot of skills every turn. And I don't know the skills I'm playing. Like,
You're playing Alignment and Glow. It's just like,
yeah,
hey,
it's
this is the
alignment and
other
glow.
thing that you
And
can infinite with is I don't know. I don't
yeah,
know.
and we're gonna finish that infinite with playing Make It So, as opposed to just just having this black hole active.
It's so bad.
It's so bad. I'm so confused. I'm so confused about the whole package. It's not real. Uh Beat into shape. Deal 5 damage, forge 5. Forge an additional 5 for every other time you've hit the enemy this turn. Um, Upgraded, it's deal 7, forge 7, forges an additional 7. This card I would probably put in C tier. I don't think it's as bad as other cards we've talked about, but I hardly ever take it. The problem is all your multi-hits are in the star build. So this says like after I've radiated 9 times, make a giant sovereign blade. And I'm usually not mixing the decks like that. But it is an interesting mix. I don't think it's so terrible, even if it is just deal 5 damage, forge 10, right? If you've just hit them one other time. 5-10, 5 damage, forge 10, I don't think is terrible, so I'll put it in bottom of C. What do you think about
Yeah,
B and shit?
I don't like this card very much at all. I think because it costs one, like if you did punch it one other time, I guess it could cost zero, right? You could do that with Falling Star or something. So you can like Falling Star strike or one cost attack and then play this, and then it's like Forge 15. But that costs like 2 mana. I've never liked this card. Even when I do have it in my deck, it's just always felt so weak.
Yeah.
I compare it to 1 mana Forge 10, and obviously it's slightly better than that. But
Uh-huh.
like I
More
would,
upside and on average
yeah,
doing that much forging. So definitely better than Spoils of War.
yeah, yeah. It's just got the upside is the only thing that's putting in C tier, I think. But I agree, low C tier. Yeah.
Yeah. Not exactly the card I'm looking for to see with my rare drop. Crash Landing, deal 21 damage to all enemies. Fill your hand with debris. I think this card stinks. 21
Ah, this
damage.
guy does. He's not in nowhere, bro. It's my turn to talk anyway. This card is really good. You want to talk? Okay, this card's really good.
Upgraded, it's 26 damage. Tell me why.
Okay, one hallway fights. It just carries. Who cares that you added like 7 debris to your hand? You're not shuffling your deck anyway. You just
Uh-huh.
kill them. Okay, just does so much damage. Against the single guys, you don't have to play it. It's fine. It's fine just sitting there. Like, yeah, obviously it's a bad card if you're not playing it, but it just carries AoE fights. Two, have you ever played this card with a copy of Pillars of Creation in play?
I'm not sure if I have. I might have, but I'm not
It
sure if I
makes you feel so powerful. It is absurd, especially because I forgot about it the first time I did it, and I was just like, "Oh, snap, that's really, really good." And now suddenly I'm gaining 20 block. Um, no, this card's definitely better than C tier. Don't even.
have.
This card's
This card
good.
here, it adds so few debris, it's like kind of fine. This card here can just kill you because you've added so many
No, or
debris.
win you the game because you gained 27 block, and that's the amount of block you needed.
Uh-huh.
It's happened. True, real.
So would
It
you put it in B
synergizes so
tier?
well. Also, it makes your whatever card deal a bajillion damage.
I haven't run colorless very much, so I feel like my analysis is in part I'm looking at this card. I just finished a boss, and I have stars or I have Sovereign Blade, and I said 21 damage AoE. That's a lot. Can I afford that? And the answer is the downside's big enough in non-created decks that I just can't afford putting Crash Landing in my deck.
There is no downside
It's
because you just kill them.
yeah, in the hallway fights you're probably right? But
Yeah,
like
and then in the boss fights, it's just a dead card and it's whatever.
it's a dead card in
Try
boss
picking it up.
fights,
Try picking it up.
and
It's real good. It's real good.
where would you put it? What tier would you put it?
A tier.
Can we? Wow, this is I am a C tier for this guy.
A tier.
Can we
I
compromise and
picked
B?
this card up several times, and you've never played with it, so who would
I
know
know I
more?
played with it a couple
Okay.
times. I've tried to splash in 21 AoE damage. I think that's a lot for one. A lot, a lot.
It's a lot of damage for one.
Yeah, but hallways aren't the thing I'm most worried about, believe it or not.
Right, then just
Uh
draw 6 cards and so that way when you play this card, it generates like 2 debris.
Yeah, yeah, I have, it has felt best when I've had a full hand from something. And it's felt great when it's just like 1 or 2 debris because my hand's full because I prophesied. Um, but I mean, a
we
card that
can we we
elites
can
are
agree to
real.
disagree and put in B.
Yeah. Oh, we'll disagree on this one. Dying
This
Star,
one though, I have a
one
feeling we're
energy,
gonna
three
agree.
stars, ethereal. Oh, deal 9 damage to all enemies. All enemies lose 9 strength this turn. Upgraded, it's 11 damage and 11 strength. So we're gonna put this in F tier, right, Alex?
Just slap that in S tier if you meant to say S instead.
I
Yes.
did mean to say us. Oh, and what a. This is probably the most powerful card for multiplayers in this whole deck. I love Strength Drain in multiplayer. Uh, yeah,
Yes. This card's a yeah. It's really really good.
yeah.
It's really really good.
It's 9 damage AoE with 11. It's like 9 defense AoE, but it also stacks on multi hits so well. It just says multi hits do nothing now. Um, it's ethereal being it does make it a bit worse, and it needs that, or else it might be at the tippy top. I don't know. I haven't seen this enough. I wish it came up more often. Heirloom Hammer deals 17 damage. Choose a colorless card in your hand. Add a copy of that card into your hand. Upgraded, it does 22 damage. What do you think of Heirloom Hammer?
Yeah, I don't think it's very good. Right, you duplicate your Sovereign Blade, or you duplicate a really good colorless card. For example, I've used this, I think, to duplicate Fasten. That was really good. You just slap out a couple different Fastens. I think there is uses for it. Like, obviously, the clear example is duplicating your Sovereign Blade. But I'm
But I
not a
don't
biggest.
have energy to play 2 Sovereign Blades a turn.
Yeah, yeah. I
Especially
probably put
after
this in
I've
C
played
tier.
Heirloom Hammer. What was that?
I'd probably put it in C tier.
Oh, I'd put this in D tier myself. Uh, though I don't really like 2 mana attacks like you do. Uh, yeah,
See,
pitch me
but
on C tier because I think this is a D tier card. I'll
think
take Kingly Kick over Heirloom Hammer. It's going to, after 2 draws, it's going to deal more damage and cost the same. And I don't know what card I'm duplicating with Heirloom Hammer.
your Sovereign Blade. And
Myself.
Forge affects all your Sovereign Blades, and so
Okay.
that's not a concern. And
Uh-huh.
then you just punch them twice.
Uh-huh.
No, you might be right. This card is not great. Yeah,
I feel
yeah.
like I'd rather play my Sovereign Blade than the Heirloom Hammer on my Sovereign Blade. We go with D. You go with D. Put it
Yeah.
towards the put after these guys. I really do enjoy these cards. You need to play a deck with them. They're questionable but great. Uh 7 stars. This is a card that does want an upgrade because it's hard to give that much energy to it. It's a 2 energy 7 star card. Deals 7 damage to all enemies 7 times. Upgraded, it is a 1 energy 7 stars. I think this is the very top of A, maybe. I think it might be S. It competes as my giant payoff for all these stars I'm getting with Stardust. I want one or the other. I think I might like Stardust better because it's 0 cost, but 7 stars works pretty much just as well. I'm gonna stick it at the bottom of S, though I could be convinced it's A. I could be convinced it's pretty near comment if you wanted.
Yeah, I think 7 stars is very expensive. Um,
Yeah.
Quite difficult to get to. And the payoff is 49 damage if assuming no vigor, um, and no strength, which also does happen.
And
But
no
like 49 damage to
enchantments, because
everything
this
is
is a great.
great.
What?
49 damage to everything is great, obviously. But that's like just so expensive. It's clearly strong. Yeah, I just think it's A tier, not S. Yeah.
Okay, I accept. Bombardment. 3 energy, deal 18 damage at the start of your turn. Plays from the exhaust pile.
Oh
Exhaust.
yeah.
Upgraded is 24 damage.
Yeah, I've only got this card through like a potion once, and that's all I played with it. It seems so much fun.
Oh, yeah, it was your turn to put it in a tier.
Uh,
I've played with Bombardment a few times. I don't think it's that good. I'd probably put it in C tier myself. The problem is that you need to take an entire turn off. Think of it like a 3 energy power. And 18 damage a turn isn't probably worth that whole turn off, right? We're comparing this
yeah,
to playing a void form. And it's just not worth it. It's kind of fun when it's active. It seems really cool, but then you play it and you're like, oh, this boss has 300 health right now, and this does something, but it's not
yeah.
building into,
And
it doesn't synergize with anything that you're doing,
we compare it with Rolling Boulder, which we think is a bad
which
card.
is a bad
And
card.
I mean, Rolling Boulder starts off slower, obviously 5 damage, 15, but then very rapidly outpaces this. Um, However, I did see a thing that says, "Hey, if you get the music box, this card's really good." Because you're just playing a bajillion bombardments now, and that's awesome. So that's cool.
What's
Keep a if you
what's
music
Music
box is
Box?
one of the boss relics that the first attack card you play, I gain an ethereal copy of it. And so you play this, get an ethereal copy, the ethereal copy exhausts itself, and then you're playing two that turn, then three, and then four, and it's like so cool. So that's fun combo. But yeah,
One
Siri, yeah.
One final thing to note on Bombardment is that it doesn't work with the duplicator potion the way you would want it to. It plays twice, but then only one copy is in the exhaust pile to play again. So a lot of that music box thing does work, but the more common ways you think you would break this don't work. Big Bang, it's a 0 cost. Draw 1 card, gain 1 energy, gain 1 star, forge 5, exhaust. Upgraded, it comes innate. Where do you put this, Alex?
I mean, it's a good card. Nobody's gonna complain about a 0 mana replace itself, gain an energy, gain a star. It does a little bit of everything. Um, yeah, like it's just good. Like it's nothing great. It's not build defining. It's none of that. But it is a good card that you'd probably just put in A tier just because it has a solid all around effect that it helps every single build.
I think Big Bang deserves to be an S tier. Uh, I know it just says it takes a card, right? So it's just like +1 energy, +1 star, forge 5. But that's so good on turn 1. First thing, you don't have your stars built up in the same way you would want to. You don't have the energy, it just starts everything. And turn 1 is the most important turn of a combat. And this says, do it better. And I think it's an S tier card. I can see how it's not synergistic, it's not run defining, but I am so happy to see a Big Bang because it greases every single deck in this game. And in this character, not in this game, any character guy
True.
in the entire game would love to have a Big Bang. Um,
Except it's definitely better in the character that can use the stars. Uh,
it is, but Um, I think that, it's not combo pop off, but I think just that basic engine on turn one or any turn if you don't have it upgraded, I think it's worth. I
So
have a hard time picking anything else over it. Maybe Dying Star, but
to
probably
me,
not even Comet. I probably would take this over Comet.
to me, Adrenaline from the Silent is not an S tier card, even though it's good in literally every single deck that exists in the entire game, as far as I'm aware. It's
Adrenaline's
not an S tier card.
one card, two energy exhaust.
I believe so, yes. Or is it two cards, one energy? One of those two. The Cure All potion does a very similar effect. Um, I forget what, but like to me, that's not an S tier card. It's like, oh, there's no better options. Yeah, I'll pick up an Adrenaline. Like, it's a great card. But like, I mean,
The thing is, I might think it's. Here's the reason. Here's one of the reasons I think it's S. I might think. I'm not sure if that's true, but I might think it's the best rare card in the game. It's close to being the best rare card for me. There's very few cards I pick up over Big Bang.
I think Adrenaline's better than Big Bang.
Um, I think Big Bang's so good.
Okay, I think they're pretty comparable.
Um, I
I don't
I
think it's like build defining. I don't. It's just like it's just a nice piece of grease. Your deck will be fine
Well,
with
guys,
that.
it's been fun. I'm gonna get going.
I have
Thanks
yes,
for hanging
Thomas.
out.
Thanks for all your contributions. I should have thrown them out to you more. I can't see the
It's
faces, so
all,
I didn't know you were still here.
it's all good. It's just gotta move, strike up a few.
Thomas,
Um,
should you make the decision? Should Big Bang be an S or A?
uh, is strike gonna go above the fin?
No.
C.
C tier, crazy
Sweet.
take for Tom.
I don't know. A probably.
Okay,
So true, so true.
I think you're sleeping on Big Bang, but I'll let it go because you're sleeping on Big Bang. Oh, so sad.
I don't. I pick up Adrenaline when there's not a better rare card because it's always good, but I never am like excited about Adrenaline. Like
I
I'm
think
excited when I see Dying Star. That's an S tier card. I'm like, holy, that's a great card. This card, I'm like, okay, cool. All right,
I
move on.
think I think there's a lot of bad rares in Regent, and I think this is a good one. Um, decisions. It's a zero energy, 6 stars. Draw 3 cards. Choose a skill in your hand. Play it 3 times. Upgraded, it's draw 5. One of the things to note is that is a skill in your hand that it does. Zero energy, 6 stars. Draw 3 or 5 cards. Play a skill 3 times. Where'd you put that, Alex?
I think this card is a lot of fun for sure. Sometimes it just plays a block card three times that I don't need. Other times it plays a block card three times that I do need. Sometimes it plays Royal Gamble three times, and that's fun. I don't know. It's a weird card. Um, I think it's tons of fun. I am unsure how powerful it is because I can't think of many skills that I want to
Bye.
beat three times.
Bye, Thomas.
Like sometimes I just use it on summon fourth, and I say Forge 24 is good enough. And
Uh,
I don't know if that's like worth 6 stars. I mean, I mean, summon Forge 24 is quite good. Yeah. So I'd probably
Yeah,
put in
you
B tier.
hit bulwark with this, and you're like, "Oh, I blocked for the turn." And
That's
you want
true.
B tier?
I could be persuaded.
Yeah, I think it's really fun. I pretty much everything you said, except I'm still trying to figure out. No, it's actually exactly what you said. I'm still trying to figure out how powerful this is, right? Like,
Because sometimes I'm like, man, I just spent a lot of stars to play this thing. I better play this star gaining card. And then I'm like, what did I even just spend my like? What even just happened? I guess I drew three cards and then played two cards. So it's just like, what am I even doing? I don't know. But
0-6 to
fair.
hit my glow 3 times to play my. Oh man, I really think that's an S tier card. Um, yeah. I mean, like, I pick it up often, but then like I would rather play something I know what it's going to do, something like a comet. Um, and that's what it's competing with when it's got all these stars. And I just think comets, the consistent, I know this does something great, is better than the potential pop off of insanity. Um, I really want to hear your opinion on this. One, foregone conclusion. Next turn, put 2 cards from your draw pile into your hand.
I have used this in one deck and was generally unimpressed with it. Um, I think in theory, the concept of setting up your next turn with your two best cards or your getting your heavenly drill with your gain energy, setting that up perfectly is really strong. Um, in practice, the one time I used it, it didn't feel very good. It felt like one mana draw. I don't know. So I'd probably put this in B tier just because I can see the upside, but I haven't experienced it. So my instinct just says B tier because that feels like where that would be. But
Okay, hear me out. Hear me out. I see the potential upside. What if I told you I'd put it in D tier?
wow,
Because it is rotted in my hand the multiple times I picked it up as a rare reward. I'm like, that's gotta be good, right? It's 1 energy, draw 2 cards next turn, but I get to pick the cards? That's gotta be good. And then I look at my hand and I say, do I want to play my charge? Do I want to block for 8 with my defend? Or block for 5 with my defend, have 5 more health? Or choose 2 cards from my deck, and then I just never have anything that important that I need this. Maybe it really should help upset my powers. Maybe it should do a lot of things, but it has. I I picked it up multiple times and I just never play it because I look at it and say that's not worth playing. I would rather do something else. I'd put it in D.
yeah, I accept this.
This is one that I'm perfectly. I would understand if I end up being completely wrong about, and that I'm just playing wrong. But I am invincible of 1 energy, gain 9 block at the end of your turn. If this is on top of your draw pile, play it. Upgraded, it does 12 block. I think I am invincible is a C tier card. I think it compares with some B tier cards, Gather Light, Patter, and it just doesn't end up on top of my deck enough. Even and just the 9 block doesn't seem worth it. I'll just use my photon cutters for something else that's more important. I've picked it up before. I think it's okay, but I think C tier is where I put it.
Um, I think at least B tier. Surely this is comparable to Patter, like minimum.
Um, it's worse than Patter. Patter says more block and vigor.
It says less block. I don't know where the more block
Does it?
came from.
I can't read it.
Yeah, Patter's 8 block, 2 vigor. I'm Invincible's 9 block. Like, They're not that different. I don't think they're a tier apart. Um, I like Leap in the defect, and one mana gain 9 block is nice, and then you can just slap it on top of your deck through the various same methods that you would do the Kingly stuff, and gain more block when you need it. It's not a hard. Obviously, by random chance, it doesn't happen like very often, but it's not difficult to set it up. When you need that extra burst of block, I've been able to slap it on top of my deck. It's at least comparable to Patter and Gathering Light. I mean, actually, I think Gathering Light is probably better because Star is good. But yeah, it's definitely not C. You're not gonna tell me it's a different tier than Patter.
Adder combos with what I think is the best deck of the game, right? It does vigor. It does vigor for your vigor stuff, right? I am invincible. Yeah, I mean, I just listened to you, right? But I it doesn't feel that good to me. Maybe it's because for my rare card rewards after I beat the first boss, I'm not usually looking for 1 energy 9 block. Maybe I should be. Maybe I should realize that's just good. But normally, with my rare rewards, I'm looking for something more. And this just, I don't know.
Yeah, but in this case, I guess we're not holding it to the fact that it's a rare card. It doesn't make it a worse card because it's rare.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, but it does mean you probably see it later. That's maybe that's what I'm trying to say. Because you usually don't see many rare cards. Like often the first time you see a rare card is after the first boss. And
true.
so maybe in combat one, I could see I am invincible being good, but I'm often, does that make any sense?
Yeah, I still think
Yeah.
it's good.
1 energy, 4 stars. The Smith. He says Forge 30. Upgraded, he says Forge 40. What do you think of the Smith?
That's a lot of forge. Um, I don't know how good it is though. I've never played this card besides getting it from card rewards, and when you get it from card rewards, it's really good. It's 0 mana Forge 30 is really good. So I don't know. I feel like based off the fact that I've never picked it up, the weird thing, like you referenced before, is that it costs 4 stars, and so that means I have a good amount of star generation. And to sort of splash this forge is a little bit weird. You could just read it as deal 30 damage, but at that point, why aren't you just playing um whatever card we were referencing? And so
Devastating.
I think this card is probably worse than that card, and I'd put it in C tier.
I agree. Bundle of Joy. It's a 2 energy. Add 3 random colorless cards into your hand. Upgraded. It's 4 random colorless cards into your hand. If you have a Pillars of Creation, this will do, 16 block upgraded. If you don't, it stinks. So I don't.
This card is so bad that they're buffing it by just cutting its cost in half.
Yeah,
That's the current version in the beta is it costs 1 instead of 2. Like this card is low key F tier.
hey, you want to do it?
Yeah.
Sure. Not sure if it's that. It's yeah. I mean, it's.
You spend 2 mana to generate 3 randomless colorless cards, and then you have no mana to play those colorless
I
cards.
know it's so bad, but if you have Pillar of Creation, it feels so comfy.
True.
Bards, 2 energy, transform any number of cards in your hand into minion sacrifice, exhaust. Minion sacrifices 0 energy, gain 9 block, exhaust. Upgraded, those minion sacrifices have 12 block. And that's what upgraded guard does. It just gives you upgraded minion sacrifices. Where do you put this, Alex?
I really like this card. I like how it's flexible in terms of the amount of block you get because sometimes you're just like, oh snap, let me just convert everything. Even if they're good cards, you can still convert them and get the block that you need. And other times you're just like, let me just get these bad cards out of my hand. You can just use it as a 2 mana exhaust your whole hand, gain all the block you need, which is like exhausting, getting rid of those extra strikes and defense or getting rid of those burns, etc., is really nice. I I'm a fan. I would put this at high B tier. Um, maybe even A tier. Who knows?
Yeah, I might put it at low A. Um, 2 energy feels quite a bit for this, but it just says block as much as you need, right?
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. I would put this as A tier. Because if you, it's each one is a game 13 block, right?
it's not. It's 9 and 12 if
Nine
upgraded.
and then 12 with upgrade. Okay, okay.
Yeah, but it really is just once per combat when this is in hand. Gain enough block. Sometimes I'll even convert an extra card and I'll just have a floating 0/9.
Hmm.
I think it works in most decks. Like I really don't think it's very deck locked, and yeah, it's a hard time for guards to be a bad card for your deck, right? Um, you just don't play it until you need it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
No, I like it. Yeah, A tier feels
Yeah, I feel it.
good.
Okay, Arsenal. Whenever you play a colorless card, gain 1 strength. Upgraded, it's gain 2 strength. I swear I've never seen this in a card reward. I know it exists, but I swear I've never seen it. Alex, I want to say it's probably C tier, but Alex, what do you think of it?
I'm pretty sure this card's really strong.
Have you played with it?
Once I think maybe. Is it when you? It's when you play a colorless card.
Play a colorless card, yeah, gain 1 strength. That could be a lot, right? Especially if you're buying colorless cards and or
Yeah,
you guards.
I played with this card one time and it was kind of absurd.
Oh my
Um,
gosh. I'm now just thinking of guards or minioning, right? You guards your whole hand, you play 5 things, you now just have +5 strength for the game,
or
for the
plus
com
10 if it's upgraded, right? If it's
or
upgraded
+10
version
if it's
being double the
upgraded.
effect is kind of crazy.
Oh my gosh, is this card really that good?
It's really, I'm pretty sure. Is it? They're I forget the new. They're making it less colorless card specific, which is cool because it will be more versatile. Because right now it's obviously only eschewing it to one specific deck.
But like guards and charge both can go in any deck, right? So
Yeah,
if you have guards, you could probably run this, right? But you do have to have one of those. I think that might be my biggest drawback. But I mean, maybe you just pick up a flash of steel or something from a shop as well, right? Um,
yeah. I just remember this card being like the best card in my deck when I was had that build. It was just like an inevitable. Oh, now suddenly I have 15 strength and everything I played just murders things.
do you want an A?
Yeah,
Yeah, I haven't played with it before, so I'll let you pick. Neutron Aegis. It's 1 energy, 5 stars, gain 8 plating. I've played with this once, and it'd be good. It was when I had a Urculum and Fake Urculum, so my goal would be to just play this early. have like 17, 16, 15 block, and I would just never play block cards. It was kind of great, but it costs too many stars to be consistently good. So I would put this in C tier.
Yeah, you're probably right. But the one time I did have it, I had 2 copies, and it was awesome.
Oh, yeah.
So so much fun. I love plating. But yeah, it's a little expensive. Um, yeah, my heart wants it higher.
My heart wants it higher too, but I feel like it's about as good as Orbit here. I don't think Orbit's bad.
Orbit's not. I mean, we almost put Orbit in B tier, so yeah.
Royalties. It's 1 energy. It's a power at the end of combat. Gain 30 gold. Are all the colorless cards under this? Uh, gain 30 gold. Upgraded, it gains 35 gold. What do you think of this card, Alex?
Yeah, I picked it up once and I like it. I mean, it's only good specifically if you get it sometime during Act 1. I think once you're in Act 2, it's just like a little late to get a gold generation card. Um, but if you get it in Act 1, I think it's pretty solid. That's a lot of gold. The problem is you only get it then. So because if it's only good at the beginning, I don't know. I
Meta currencies are very valuable, right? This
I think I
is
put it in B.
put in B.
Yeah.
I think royalties is trash. I would put it in D tier. Uh, yeah, I
What?
mean, you've gotta, yeah, yep. This is a win more card if I've ever seen it, and it's a card
No,
that's
it's
gonna take
not.
your win more. The only way you're getting this off without being punished for it,
It's just
is
one
if
mana,
you're
man.
already
It's not
winning.
that crazy.
And then it's just, I think I might be misrepresenting how much 30 gold is, right? Because you could then target hallways and suddenly you've got an extra 200 gold, which means an extra relic, right? But, you hit, how many hallways do you need to hit to even get that? You hit 8 hallways so that you can buy a new relic and have to play royalties, which might mean you get hit for 5 or something, right? Unless you're winning so much that this is win more. But I'm looking at this rare card and I want something to linchpin my deck around, and I see royalties. I despise royalties. I think it's a D card.
It's good. Have you ever considered just playing it on a turn when they're not punching you?
Have you ever considered? Uh, no, I've never thought of that, Alex.
There are turns where they take a time off,
Have you ever
where you just play
considered that's the
royalties and you
turn that
get permanent. It's like it's a permanent game. It's
have you
it's
ever
it's one of the rare cards that affects your next combat because you get this gold, and then with that gold you can purchase these things from the shop, and it like doubles the gold you're getting. That's a
uh,
lot of gold.
uh yeah,
It's definitely
maybe.
better than D tier. Put it in C.
I'll let it be and see. But is C our safe bet here? That might show the difference between when we rated colorless cards. If C is our safe bet tier here instead of B. I don't like royalties. I see why you would think that. Seeking Edge. Forge 7, Sovereign Blade now deals damage to all enemies. Um, I like. Oh, it's your turn to talk. No, it's my turn. I like
Oh,
Seeking Edge.
okay.
Forge 7, stop worrying about AoE fights. Um, I think that's pretty decent. I would probably put it towards the low end of B tier. Um, it just says you gotta stop. It's like your one-stop fix for AoE in a Forge build. Um, and it goes with your Forge stuff.
Yeah, makes sense to me. I've never played with this card, but like it reminds me of Fan of Knives, where it just fits so naturally into a ship build because it just helps so much in AoE fights. So I feel like this is very similar. And I feel like Forge in general, Forge builds struggle with AoE fights, and so this would fix that problem. So honestly, saying that out loud makes me feel like it's higher B tier.
Put it next to Black Hole. I feel like that also makes sense. I think the reason it was lower than Black Hole is the difference between Star builds and Forge builds for me. But I think it's probably more valuable than Black Hole in a Forge build, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I think Black Hole probably does more than Cutting Edge does in abstract. Tyranny. 1 energy. At the start of your turn, draw 1 card and exhaust 1 card from your hand.
Yeah, this card is just really, really good. It's just like a solid card that fits naturally into decks, especially when I'm generating 8 debris from my crash landing. It can filter through debris super easily. One could argue that this is Accelerate, but worse. Um,
Exhausting a card from your hand is a benefit.
it's a good thing. It's a good thing.
But Pale Law
Yeah, I
does
like this
2
card.
turns. Upgraded, it is innate. Yeah, I kind of love this card. I don't know. I the highest B tier for me.
Yeah, yeah.
Genesis, as the start of your turn, gain 2 stars. Upgraded, it's gain 3 stars. 2 energy. I think this is an A tier thing. I think it reminds me a lot of Furnace for stars, but it just says 1 card. Here is the star generation you need. Really good with Radiates, really good with a lot of the star stuff. I feel like it fills a very similar niche that Furnace does for Forge. But since Stars is a better deck, I have it higher than Furnace is in A, but same tier.
Yeah, it's kind of an absurd amount of star generation. Um, I feel like this card is the times that I've used it, which is perhaps only once, I had too many stars. And so you need to make sure that you utilize that. Otherwise, you're just wasting so much potential. But the potential is very, very high. So I don't disagree with A tier. You just need to make sure you pick up enough star usage cards as well. Otherwise, the card is just doing too much for you.
Yeah, 7 stars will probably be able to eat it or something like that. But also, we did put Stardust in S tier as the multi-hit star card, right? And
True.
that will it loves a Genesis. Hammer time. Whenever you forge, all allies forge as well.
Yeah. Never seen that card.
You've never seen this? You weren't in the run that I had a really big sword and I gave it to Ben and Thomas then? Apparently
Yeah, I
not
guess
you. It was a really big sword.
so.
They kept getting like 2 energy, deal 45 damage, retaining cards just sitting in their hand. What do you? Your turn.
I don't feel like I like this card very much, to be honest. I've never seen it used and I've never played with it, but it just feels like super slow in my mind.
Yeah, the one time I used it, it was on Ascension like 1, and I'm not sure you can pull this off on Ascension 10. I'd probably put it in C tier. you would be surprised what like a 2 energy, 20 damage retain is actually a really great card, right? Because on turns they need to attack, they're not gonna brick anymore, right? Um, so even no one hates having the Sovereign Blade given to them, I feel like. But I'd put it towards the bottom of C tier just because it does cost 2, and then you have to forge after you do this. It doesn't like mimic what your Sovereign Blade power is currently at.
Right. Yeah.
Um, but I do think it is something like when I talked about Sovereign Blade being like okay to splash just to have this retain do something. Hammer Time is very much an epiphany and is an example of that. Sword Sage. Increase the cost of Sovereign Blade by 1. Sovereign Blade now hits an additional time. What do you think of
Yeah.
Sword?
This card's kind of awkward because it just makes Sovereign Blade um so expensive, and you can't stack it. And they are buffing this card for a reason. Um, I still like it though. I still think Big Sword that punches twice is good.
Uh-huh.
Um, but generally, I want to punch more than like I want to play my Sovereign Blade more than just one time throughout the combat, and this is like makes it so committal that it's so hard for me to play my Sovereign Blade more than once per combat.
And every forge you do is multiplied in damage by the number of times you play Sovereign Blade, right? So Sword Sage says stop doing that and just wait till it's really big and do it twice
Right.
for your whole turn.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So I don't know. Low key, low key D.
Ooh, I probably wouldn't drop it more than Hammer Time. I'd probably have it bottom of C myself.
Yeah, that's fine. Punching twice with Sovereign Blade is real good, as discussed previously. So,
Yeah. Um, my turn for Monarch's Gaze. It's 3 energy. Whenever you attack an enemy, it loses 1 strength this turn. Um, Upgraded, it costs 2. I would like to petition to make Thomas happy and put this below strike in F tier.
but it makes your Celestial Might make them do -3 damage. You make
Celestial.
7 stars like Dying Star.
Yeah, but in order to do it, you need to take your whole turn once.
Yeah, it's
And
really not good, is it?
it's real bad. And then you need the multi-hit, or you need that infamous zero cost skill to hit a bunch of small times deck that these cards promise exist. I feel like it is the power payoff for these 3 cards that are supposedly an archetype that I can't find. I can't find it. Um,
Is it worse than a strike?
uh, the one
Okay.
time I had it in my deck, yeah, 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 I struggled so hard to play it, and then
And then it does like, oh, they're gonna have -2 strength. Cool.
yeah, and then it
And
added
then it's
to,
like very specific combo pieces, and one of those combo pieces also happens to be a rare card. And
yeah,
anyway, yeah.
yeah, and you could
Uh,
save up all your stars and do Stardust with it, but you've got to play this card, and it is so painful to play. Uh,
yeah, okay. We can put it worse than strike.
or if you wanted to just annoy him, we could put it right there.
Um, It is worse than a defend. I can say that much. No, it's probably worse. Is it? Is it?
We'll put it right there. Love you,
Yeah.
Thomas.
It's got the upside.
It's got some upside. I can see the vision with this more than I can see with these cards, but these cards I actually get to play.
Yeah.
Void Form. It is a 3 energy power. At the end of your turn, the first 2 cards you play each turn are free. 3 energy. End your turn. And just end your turn right there. The first 2 cards you play each turn are free to play. Upgraded, it does the first 3 cards you play each turn.
This is an S tier card for me. Every time I played it, I've just like won the run.
Where in
That's
S tier
pretty
would you
intuitive
play it? Put it?
Probably. I mean, I would shift around a couple things if because I would put it under Child of Stars, but I would also put Gamma Blast under Child of Stars and under Void Form and under Bulwark.
Okay, we're shifting Gamma Blast down. That feels good for Gamma Blast. I still think it's an S tier card.
Yeah.
This one's funny to be all the way up here. It just works. It just works with everything. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I don't like. I'm a noted Void Form hater. You take the 1 turn to set up though, and it does pay off, right? But sometimes it ends up just being like I get to play an extra strike and defend each turn. If my deck isn't like good enough to take advantage of all that energy cheat.
And sometimes it's I have no shin, but I can still play with Comet.
Yeah, I am going to use my powers of position. I'd probably put it in A tier myself. Even though some part of me knows it's probably higher. So I'm going to use my powers to pull it down towards the bottom of S tier. I just don't. Yeah, I mean it cheats a lot of energy. I think my biggest issue with Void Form is a deck that would use as much energy as Void Form cheats is usually not the kind of deck you want to build. So I see it and I say, oh, I don't need to cheat that much energy. I don't have like tons of comments or 2 energy attacks or monarch gaze. And so like I feel like usually I have a lot of 1 cost things, 0 cost things that cost a couple stars, those kind of things. And so Void Form, yeah, I think Void Form, the kind of decks I'm building when I see Void Form usually aren't good with Void Form, right? It doesn't mean it's not a great card and I shouldn't pick it up and then shift my deck though. I feel like it's way too late and I'm still explaining cards just as long. Does that make sense to you? Do you feel that at all, or you just like Void Form good
No.
pickup?
Yeah, no, that makes yeah.
Okay, have you played with both these cards?
I played with both of them, yes.
The full arts. Meteor Shower. 0-2, deal 14 damage to all enemies. Apply 2 weak and vulnerable to all enemies. Upgraded, it does 21 damage.
Actually, I'm not sure if I played with Meteor Shower, but I did see its existence and then chose something else, I believe. But,
14 damage, all enemies. Apply 2 weak and vulnerable to all enemies. We're almost done now.
Okay.
I think this is S tier.
it is a boss relic for a reason.
It is a boss relic for a reason. Yeah. I think it's often
I don't know.
worth
AoE's not that good according to you, so it might be A tier.
You know that one card you said that was really good because it generated all those bad cards, all those status cards. This upgraded does just as much damage and doesn't do it. Apply too weak and too vulnerable to all enemies as a AoE effect is very strong. There's a card that used to be Ironclad that just does that for 2, and it was good in Ironclad in the first game. And so this is like 0 energy, 2 stars, very easy to fit in. Just everyone is weak and vulnerable all the time. And on top of that, it gives you a bunch of damage. I would say it's an easy S tier, but there still are some boss relics that are more powerful than it.
Yeah, this last card here, you gain a star every time you play a card. It costs 1 energy and 3 stars, but it's also innate, so it starts in your opening hand.
And it's the upgrade.
Oh, Nate is the upgrade? Okay. When I got this, it was already upgraded, I think, then. Yeah, so I had this in a deck that I thought already had enough star generation. And I'm like, do I really need this? And I'm like, yeah, it's probably good. If I'm going to put it in a deck, it's going to be this one. And then I just did everything. And I just could do everything. And it was so good. I was like, okay, glad I picked that up. Yeah, no, it's really good.
Good. Not only does it makes a star every time you play a card. So when you play your cards that cost stars, that often cost 0 energy, it's like they're all 1 star cheaper, right? And it's just so good. Um, it's probably the best card in the deck. Yeah, it is a boss
Yeah,
relic.
it is a boss relic. It is kind of cheating a little.
Uh,
I
yeah,
mean, at that point, I think Meteor Shower, I compare it to these other cards. Meteor Shower is the second best, I think.
really. Ah,
Yeah. I might
dude.
prefer, like, I think I would put Dying Star up higher.
Um, Dying Star. Oh, you need to play more glows, man. You
I
need to
guess
get
I do.
off that beta branch and just play. Just pick up every glow you see. I'm telling you, it's
But it's
the
one mana do nothing, bro.
no. It's 1 mana, generate 1.5 mana worth of stars, draw 2 cards.
That's only if it's upgraded.
Yeah, you should upgrade it. Otherwise, it's 1 mana, draw 2 cards. It's like 0.25 mana, draw 2 cards. Is kind of what it is unupgraded. Totally worth it, but you should upgrade it. The double on the stars is worth the upgrade. I don't know. Some of these other cards are better. Okay, it can't be below. It can't be below Gamma Blast. Um, uh, like, comment, and subscribe. Tell us the cards in the comments that we got the most wrong. Tell us what cards you think are worse than strikes in this card pool. Alex, any socials or things you need to shout out?
Um, no, but I did want to say I think I'm more content with this tier list than I am the colorless card tier list, for sure. I think
Yeah.
the colorless card tier list, I look at that, and there's so many cards that I'm just like, ooh. And this one, I'm just like, oh, yeah, I mean, like, sure, I'd move this one up or down, but, like, it feels pretty good. So I feel good about this.
Yeah, so a lot of the things that I felt like maybe I had more controversial picks on this one, I was easily persuaded.
Hmm.
Oh. I think this is probably the most S tier card that's not an S tier right now.
Oh, maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. But in my brain, adrenaline just isn't an S tier card.
This
It's just
just
a,
does more than adrenaline. Uh, I think that because what is adrenaline exactly? Actually, we should have the end of the video. Thanks for coming. We'll see you next time when we never do a card pool this big again.
Have it still. I want to ask them if it's a tooth.
I think you're noticing if it's a full tooth.